in, everyone, to episode 263. I'm your host, Caleb Peng. Oh, we got a full house today. It's me. It's Twastell. It's PvP Steve. It's HurricaneKaz. You know, it's interesting, Kaz. You're like actually blurry, but your background's super clear.
Oh yeah.
I wonder
You're
if
like
the camera is like not focusing right.
Yeah, it's definitely focused on your arcade machine actually, which is interesting. I'm not sure.
Wait.
Wait, is there a non-zoom in button like like there's a zoom and zoom out, but is there like a clarity one or is it autofocus?
I mean, it should be on autofocus, so I don't know. And it has like facial recognition, but for some reason it's like not doing it. And I don't know enough about this camera. And my husband's not here.
That's okay. That was okay. We'll go low.
All right, so we have a full house.
Perfect. Yes.
Got it.
Yes. And we got Cheggy.
Who is also super blurry.
Where's Mittens? That would be the real full house.
I know. He's tragically not
You're the standing cat today, Cheggerino.
I actually took a photo when I got home because Mittens was like, he's just curled up perfectly on my pillow, like on my exact pillow on the bed. He was just sitting right on it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you've been gone.
I will say the half second showed that to the camera. I didn't see anything. He said, you're gonna have to do it again.
Okay. People see Mittens enough.
Let's just get into it.
Yeah,
we got a lot to cover.
We got a lot to get into. Okay, so let's talk about some of our GoFest experiences. I'm gonna be right back. Just grab my toast, but feel free to get started on what your GoFest looked like this past weekend. Because I had a wedding, but I did play plenty.
I was at because Atlanta had one of those in-person celebrations.
Yeah, was that 1 day or 2 days?
It was scheduled for 1 day actually, but we got stormed out. Like they kept having to delay everything, like all the little like side events and things that were planned by community organizers. Like there was a really bad thunderstorm that rolled in, and it was in an outdoor mall, so like.
Ooh.
You can imagine how bad it was. And I think like maybe like a couple hours before the GoFest itself ended, they were just like, okay, this storm's actually going to be getting a lot worse. So we're just going to close everything, like get out. And so, yeah, we all left early, and it did indeed pour down a lot of rain. I got quite soaked.
But other than the storm, how was it?
But other than the storm, it was really good. I volunteered in the PvP lounge so people could challenge me to battles. We only had two, me and Jaraka, as the gym leaders. But if you beat both of us, then you would be entered into like a drawing to win. Like I think it was one of those Lego Eevees.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it was really neat. I hope that it all worked out for the people that did well, because the whole event closed early. They did actually get all the stops and like everything reinstated for the following day, so people could go back and play in that area if they wanted, which was really good because there were a lot of obviously gyms that were really dense, so you didn't have to walk very far if you didn't want to. And they had a Shake Shack there, which is the best. So, but yeah, so I did a lot of battles. But apparently me and Jaraka got different information. He was forcing people to do a best of 3, and I was just doing best of 1 because I didn't want to like waste anybody's time. And also there were some people who were doing it obviously just for like, you know, more prizes and things like that. So there were lots of like kids and people that didn't really play PvP, and didn't have a lot of things built. So I was just kind of like, if you win, you win.
It's fine. You're 2 different gym leaders with 2 different challenges.
It's true. I also let people pick whatever league they wanted. Most people were just saying Open Great League, but there were a few people who challenged me to Master League, and I of course lost because I have no Master League Pokemon.
That's the real strat.
Yeah, and there were a few people who wanted Little Cup, and I was like, thank goodness, because I love Little Cup. Dang. So it was pretty fun overall. And I talked to a lot of people about the championship series and about all the events. Cause like I got that bag at the Pokemon Center at NAIC that like has a clear like outside so you can put your pins on display. So I had all my NAIC pins like on display on my bag, and so people were asking me about it. So I was telling everyone about how, like, oh, it's going to be in Chicago next year, and it'll probably be close to Go Fest, and you should all come, and you should all learn more about battling. But a lot of people were really interested because they didn't realize that all the games kind of took place in one event. So there were some people who were like, oh, like, I actually play more of the TCG, like, competitively. And I was like, you should still go.
Although you might struggle to register.
Well, you know, we don't have to get into all that. So overall, it was really good. And the on Sunday, I actually had to work quite a bit, so I wasn't able to really play the event as much. But generally, I did some really nice remote raids with friends, and it was a good weekend.
Nice.
Did they get anything pricing wise for beating you or no? Sorry, I might have missed this earlier.
Yeah, you missed the explanation. So they had to. It was me and Jaraka had volunteered as like gym leaders. They had to beat both of us in order to be like entered into a drawing for like a Lego set. One of the Pokemon Lego sets.
Gotcha.
I think it was the Eevee one, but I don't know. She might have had both.
Did you any catches from the weekend you were happy with?
I got a lot of new shinies actually, like not a lot of repeats, which I feel like is pretty rare when I'm not able to play the event as much. So,
nice.
I was really happy with that. Yeah. What about you guys?
Steve?
Okay.
Oh boy,
this might be a short story. But go ahead.
Respectfully, does Steve actually play the game?
I'll be like, okay, so I thought it was next week. Okay, so I was busy on Saturday. I had Caleb's wedding to attend, and so that's right. You dressed pretty dapper. Not going to lie.
Wasn't that on Sunday?
Yeah, I thought I had the wrong day. My bad. But hey, that's good. So I played Sunday. And I was streaming the other day. Tristan was in chat, so he can come in last because he might have got it spoiled. Or he might have more of a clue because I was going through my Pokemon storage. Caleb and Kaz, how many raids do you think I did in my entire GoFest experience? Noting I only played one day.
So how many you did total, even though you only technically played one day?
Yeah. I promise I didn't raid Saturday, but.
Are
we counting? Are we counting all the raids you did in Chicago and New York?
No.
I'm gonna guess for the global weekend 6.
Big guess. I don't think you used up all your free passes. That's all I'll say. Yeah. You know what? In fact, I think it was 2, 1 a day.
I'm gonna go with 9.
I definitely know it's not in double digits. Like,
I think it's 9.
Way. No shot.
It was 59, suckers. I'm the ultimate grinder.
No.
What did you get out of it? Wait. Okay, wait. Explain to me though. What was the reason? Are you trying to build like a Mewtwo, or what was the deal? I feel like you're just there for the vibes because other people are rating 59 as well, right? Yeah.
And
they might have rated 60 something, but you were there for 59 of them.
The only reason I stopped at 59 is because I was getting the like hardcore raid glitch bug thingo that meant that I could not raid for like 2 hours. Which was kind of whack.
Whoa, slow down, PvP Steve.
Wait, Steve, is
grinder.
that more raids than you've done in the last year combined?
No, maybe, because that does include GoFest Chicago, and that one I also did some raids. But it's definitely the most raids I've ever done in one day by far. So there's that, I guess.
Yeah, that's honestly like, Steve. Listen, respectfully, unbelievable.
I played from 10 a.m. all the way to, I'll sort of say 5:30. Like I was there in the park until 7:30. But again, like the last hour and a half, I couldn't do any raids. So it was like, well, whatever. Like, I guess I'm just here for vibes only.
That's way more than I did. I did like 40 for the whole weekend.
Anyway.
But that's quite
a bit. That might have been more than even I did.
What is Steve showing us?
I think it's a Hundo Mewtwo.
With a background.
With the
Wait.
background.
Wait, which background?
Wouldn't you like to know?
What? Let me see. Open that thing up. We got a T topic to talk about today. Try to see who I'm directing this T topic to.
Guys, I'm not a cool enough influencer.
Well, there are like
Because if you were there, you did a great job of dodging every photo that Debbie Pebble took there. She seemed like she had a good time.
That's the real thing. Is like that's the real way you know that Steve was not there is because there would have for sure been Steve evidence in a Debbie photo.
Mhm.
But
That's
also there would have
unavoidable.
been a like morning of surprise I'm here post.
Yeah, this is very true. Although, to be fair, I still got hit with Twitter criticism. I guess actually we can save for the tea topic.
Yeah.
We can come later. But
You guys didn't do that last week? Like you didn't T-topic about that?
wasn't it on
No,
the
we
weekend?
recorded before it happened.
Oh yeah, I guess you did record.
We
right?
literally recorded like 3 hours
like
before
hours
the
before.
event
Look
started.
at Kaz exposing
Okay.
herself again for not listening to our
No.
episodes.
I told you I
listen.
don't because it's weird. It's weird
Yeah,
to me.
Steve listened to it on the flight back from New York.
I had the thought today while I was out working. I was like, oh, maybe I should play last week's episode since I was sick. Nah.
It's like, who wants to listen to Tristan and Caleb ramble about nothing for 2 hours? Hey, man, there's a lot of traffic in LA. I'll listen to myself talk. It's for quality assurance, you know?
That's right.
Quality assurance.
I don't like to listen if I was on the recording, but if I wasn't there, I'll always try to listen. That's
You don't
sort
like
of
the
my
sound of your
vibe.
voice?
I don't know if I dislike the sound of my voice. I just think it's weird to listen to myself, and it's also like I was there for these conversations, so like I just know what's gonna happen. But it's like if I wasn't there, it's like see what went on, sort of a vibe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I have no problem hearing myself back these days, but I know it's been long enough. There's been enough YouTube videos edited, but I was there. I know. I'm actually gonna learn nothing by watching this back. So I'll watch the ones that I'm not there for. That's about it. But I will. Anyway, that was my go fest.
How many hundos did you get besides the background hundo?
I think I only did the one. I think, which is sort of on odds. Like it was fine.
Wait, you're below odds.
Isn't it like oh wait, it was 11 max, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 5 times 5 times 5? Isn't that way
Like 125.
as
You
in
did,
like as in like I didn't get unlucky. Like getting 100
Yeah.
is a good thing.
Yeah, I said you're below odds. Like you got a
Yeah.
hundo faster than you should have.
Yeah. Because I'm freaking awesome. And other reasons.
I did. Well, take a guess how many I did because I did have the wedding on Saturday.
Did you remote?
I didn't remote single one.
Hey. I'm gonna give you a nice 15. Actually, nah, you played more
15.
than that. Let's go even 20.
Well, I did. I was able to play Sunday for what.
Yeah, true.
I didn't play the whole day Sunday though because we ended a little bit early because everyone's like rated out.
Okay, let me pump 40.
I will say 30.
I think like
30, 40?
65.
60.
Wow. 87.
What?
You think I went to the wedding? Well, of course I did. But no, shout out to Mipichu by the way, because he was super helpful. For those that don't know, he's he's played in the circuit before, but he also is like one of the judges. But I just know he's in the San Diego area, and I hit him up ahead of time. And then I played with just him on Saturday because Dapper Disc was busy, and then so we just went to like a shopping plaza and just did a bunch of it. Dude, the game is not dying down anytime soon. There are tons of people in this area. It was insane. So we originally followed the group, but they were doing all these random raids. We're like, screw it, we'll just do our own group. And like, there's enough that like every lobby was like 20 people. I think the allowing other people to like remote in very easily was nice too, because it's just like a lot of the lobbies were like just like people from my friends list and stuff.
Yeah, especially on Sunday.
Yeah, I got a hundo on what do you call it? I got a hundo on day one. with the one with counter, which is nice. I don't have to like. Well, you can't even Elite TM it, can you?
Not yet, anyways. And they
Yeah.
haven't actually announced like whether or not it will be Elite TMable after the fact. So, like, we don't have like reason to think it won't be, but like they haven't actually said it will. So people
I
are like a
don't
little
know.
nervous that it's gonna be
You
like
know,
Palkia and Dialga 2.0
Yeah, it's gonna
here.
be a
Like,
whole other like
yeah,
2
that's
or
what I'm
3
saying.
years.
Like it took more than 2 years because that came out February of 2024.
Yikes.
I said 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Two and
I
a
guess
half.
you're right. It's somewhere in between that. You're
Two
right.
and a half, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I honestly Mega Mewtwo X is actually fairly usable in Mega Master League. Like it beats Gyarados, which is nice, and it's just like I don't know, the fast attack pressure is kind of insane.
Yeah, I heard it can like straight counter down to Zacian. Like,
Yeah, because like Zacian, you're not throwing. Well, you could throw close combat, I guess, but like it makes no sense, right? It's like throwing close combat at Metacham, like the same typing. It would just like you would never do that. So just a very easy play around, I would say. But yes, I got 100 that day. No 100 background like Steve, and then I didn't get 100 on the second day. So I just spent my energy on one of my own Mewtwo. Dude, I still hate how prohibitive the system is. Because I rated like I rated obviously a lot of Mewtwo, right? More on the second day than the first day. So I have way more Mewtwo Y energy than X. And I still can't make a second one because I spent it and I need to save 5,000 for I had to spend 5,000 to fully supermax it afterwards. I'm not going to spend all the energy to like
yeah.
speed it up early, right?
Wait,
and
how much does it cost? So, like,
7,500, 7,500 for the initial evolve on something that you don't have. Then you have to save additional 5,000 to go from Mega Level 3 to Mega Level 4. So don't rush the in-between steps if you don't have the energy to spare. And yes, I have the energy to spare for that one Mewtwo, but you want more than one Mewtwo because you want a Mewtwo Y with Side Strike and Shadow Ball, both Legacy. You want one with Side Strike without Shadow Ball for like Thunderbolt coverage if you run to Gyarados. You probably want one with Shadow Ball and maybe like Thunderbolt, I guess, for like extra safety, but non-stab charge attacks. I don't know. You probably want at least 2, right? And I can only make 1. I mean, I was talking with Meepy. He plays a lot Master League, so like I get his approach.
Well, yeah.
I
and I heard
as well.
I was talking to some people that were saying that in an ideal world you would have 4, because you would have Side Strike, Shadow Ball, Side Strike without Shadow Ball, and then you would have counter Side Strike, Shadow Ball, counter Side Strike, and no Shadow Ball, and then you could just do them as both an X and a
right?
Y. Well, yeah, I guess you.
Yeah.
See,
like,
and this is why anyone can beat me at Master League. I'll never have anything useful.
Yeah, you probably don't need a Y with counter, but like the ones you use for Y, having enough energy to make it an X as well, because you never know if you want to run an X with Psycho Cut instead of counter.
Yeah, I ran into an X running Psycho Cut actually, and that threw me off because I led Gyarados into it. I insta swapped out, and I was like, wait. This thing's destroying my backline because it gets the side strike just as fast, right? It's not like I have my own Mewtwo to beat it with like a, honestly, they could also run Shadow Ball on that Mewtwo too. Now I think about it, it just has like slightly worse typing and stat product, but
right. But my point is like if you have enough energy, the Mewtwo you're using as a Y with Psycho Cut and then the different combos, you could also make an X, assuming you have enough energy, which obviously is a big ask. But like, that's like something some people are gonna do is just reuse that because, like, you might have more energy than you have XLs at that point.
Yeah, but how do you? Oh, so you're saying give a Mewtwo Y with counter?
No, I'm saying give a Mewtwo Y, also Mega Evolve it as an X. So that you have an X that is running the Psycho Cut instead of counter with the different combos.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Anyway, super limiting, unfortunately. So
yeah,
it is.
And the worst part that I really hate is when you trade them, it resets the Mega level. Because like I thought like oh, like it'll be good, like you can just save some of these and just like lucky trade them with people, and like you still can. But if you're lucky trading it, like both people who are trading for it would have to have the 7,500 energy just to make it a Mega 1.
Mhm.
Like you're not saving the mega level, which is kind of unfortunate.
Yeah. It's because there's no real use to it besides just like unless you have like a background or something on it or counter. Like there's nothing really legacy about it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, other than that, I mean, I didn't really catch too. It was a very raid heavy event. Now,
I mean,
granted, they
all
do
of
give you
them
free like
are
9 raid passes a day or whatever, 8 or
yeah.
9.
All
But
all of the events recently, like Go Fest and even the Go Tours, I feel like have just shifted more and more towards raid heavy events these like the last couple years.
yeah, and I will say too, right? For people getting back into the game, it's good because you got to catch up on a lot of things. But for the people that have been playing the entire time or most of the entire time, like there's not really much in the wild that you can really get that's really
Yeah,
worthwhile.
the weird thing I will say is like so traditionally like every year I feel like the pattern is like each in-person Go Fest has like released a new shiny. And then all those new shinies have been available at Global Go Fest, along with like one or two more new shinies. But we didn't
Mhm.
get any new shinies this year at Global Go Fest.
Not a
No.
single one.
We didn't
No,
get because the
Not even the
in-person.
Dreepy, which is like the tradition, is releasing the dragon shine, like the next.
So
Sure.
yeah, why
dragon
was
shiny
Streaky not
early.
around? That they just missed out
It
on free
was
money. I feel
there.
like.
Because
was
it's a
spawning.
forever game, Caleb. They want to drag it out an extra year.
It was somehow more forever than last year's forever, but
But yeah, we didn't get the shiny dragon like Kaz said. Normally we get like maybe one other new shiny, I think. Plus they debuted the shiny Paldean Tauroses at the in-person events, and those weren't part of Global Go Fest, even in
yeah, that's
raids.
weird.
So like it was even less it was even more of a raid focus this year because there was no new shinies for Global Go Fest. Like obviously
Yeah.
like there's a lot of wild shinies that, we're probably still missing, but there wasn't any new shinies to hunt, which I thought was a very interesting and sort of unprecedented choice in that regard. Because it's just so out of their normal sort of Go Fest pattern.
Just checking. At the in-person Go Fests, did they wasn't there like a debut of shiny exclamation mark and question mark unknown something something? Isn't that new?
No, I think those have been around for a while.
Yeah, I don't think those have.
I'll be honest, I don't know, so I
Yeah,
can't say.
I don't know.
Steve, you were
that
there.
was-
You tell us.
Maybe that was the debut of the.
Like it could have been
punctuation
debut
mark
in. It could have been
ones.
in global, to be honest with you.
I mean, they were in global because I know some people
Yeah,
did
yeah.
get them.
I'm just pretty sure I heard chatter about them, like not knowing whether they were going to be shiny or not because they hadn't been before or something, and then it turned out they were. Shiny form
Yeah.
was released. Oh no, shiny question mark was released at GoFest 2024 Sendai. Exclamation mark was released at GoFest Osaka. So never mind. It's just that they weren't mentioned.
Professor Osaka was like 2 years ago,
Yeah.
or no, 3 years ago.
It was just 3 years ago. So
Yeah.
I guess they were.
Yeah, I was pretty sure all the shiny unknowns were already out at this point.
Oh,
It
you
was
know
cool,
what?
though.
It actually
What?
was not true. They were missing one by the looks of it. They were missing Shiny Unknown Q, which was released at GoFest Tokyo this year. So technically,
That
was the
does make
first-
sense. 'Cause I remember Meepy said he didn't have a queue still, the shiny queue, but other than that, he had his shiny decks completed for unknown, which is
I will say it was cool that all the unknowns were available.
Yes, I
I
finally
was-
completed my unknown badge.
Same. I could have traded for it. I was at like 26 out of 28. I don't even know which letters I was missing, but I just like happened to go plus them on like Saturday while I was like running around doing raids or whatever.
Yeah.
I think the last one that I think there was only one that I needed, and it was literally the letter C. And the last time it was available was literally, it was at Dragon Con in Atlanta the year before I moved here.
Oh
Like
man.
that was the last event in like that it was available in the wild. So absurd.
Yeah.
But yeah, for experiences, I didn't actually track how many rates I did. My guess is probably in like the 120 to 150 range. I will say the campsites are such a game changer because I was like in person both days, and the campsite that's like local to me has like a good spread of gyms like added in addition to the gyms that were already there. So like we were able to do like a solid loop and usually hit like at maybe like 4 to 7, depending on like what popped Mega Mewtwo's like every half hour, and we would just like keep looping it and keep looping it. And like there was enough people there to like fill out lobbies most of the time.
Yeah, yeah. It definitely seemed very, very centric, which honestly at the end of the day, like that was mostly what I was focused on anyway, but I don't know. I mean, yeah, it is what it is. To be fair, like there's a lot of Pokemon released already in the game, so you can only do so much, I guess. But
Yeah. Well, and the thing is,
I
like,
don't
I
know.
don't know, the wild spawns like weren't that exciting for me. Like, there was definitely some things in there that I wanted, like the shinies of, or I wanted XLs for, but it was just like a couple things in like a fairly big spawn pool. Um,
Mhm.
and like they ended up like the other thing I didn't like is like why didn't they just announce the spawns ahead of time? Like they just gave us typings, which made us think like, oh, maybe we'll get like all Pokemon of each typing, but that wasn't the case. Like it was
Mhm.
still a limited spawn pool with like a lot of like the more rare stuff wasn't in there. Like, I think people would have been excited to see like a Dondozo or a Honedge or Mimikyu or
Yeah.
something, but like
I
none
think
of
it's
those were in
because
there.
I think
Um,
it's because, like you said, I mean, they've kind of transitioned to focusing more on raids and even max battles to a certain extent.
I
So
mean,
they just,
sure, but then why
I
not
just
just
don't think they
announce the
care.
spawn? Why not just announce what the spawns are going to be
I just
then?
don't
Like,
think
I
they
don't.
care enough that they don't. That's not what is going to sell people. I think is what their
You
logic must
know,
be.
my other theory is that if whoever proposed the lack of revealing the spawn types is also the person in charge of the blog posts, then you should be suspicious, Scopely Explore, of your colleague, because they probably just didn't want to type out all the random spawns that are coming out. They're just like, let's just say dark
Listen, they were
types.
like, we already typed up
Dark
all
types,
those
yeah.
legendary for the
If
raid
they're
day
in
on
charge of
Monday.
if they're in
So
charge of the
like,
website or the
we're
graphics,
done.
right? Like one of those two people are just trying to be lazy about it. I mean, I don't actually think that's the case. But if I was their supervisor and I found out they were the one that recommended it, I'd be like, huh, why didn't you mention this actually? Because you're trying to do a little less work for yourself on the blog post or what, right? Or on the graphics. Anyway, hopefully I didn't get anyone in trouble, but trust me, I know how
Um,
that goes as someone that's worked in a marketing job before. But
yeah. Another interesting thing I didn't notice, someone else pointed out. Apparently, all the pincer you caught during the event knew Legacy Submission for some reason. It's not a particularly good move, but it is a Legacy move.
Oh,
Um,
I definitely
There were
transferred
a
on
lot
mine.
of weird
there were a lot of
legacy
the evolve
choices.
legacy moves. Man, I didn't forget to respond to you in our team chat, Tristan, but I was getting trolled because I was like, what am I getting out of this Alakazam? I thought the legacy move was counter, but apparently it also has the legacy move psychic. I didn't
Yeah.
even realize psychic was a move. I was like, I thought it just learned psychic. Not that
Well-
Alakazam's really gonna come that useful. Or like a Lick Gengar. I'm like, I'm never using Lick Gengar anyway. I was like waiting for Shadow Punch Gengar. I was like, why do I not have Shadow Punch? I have Focus
yeah, some of
Blast.
them were, yeah, there was a bunch of Legacy moves you could evolve for, but yeah, like some of them were like very weird, and like I didn't like look over what it was until like I was evolving late that night. I was just like, oh, here it is. Like, you guys can like look at what you need. But yeah, like Lick Gengar instead of like Shadow Punch. And the thing with Alakazam too is if you wanted to do like a Legacy move that wasn't counter, it also gets like Dazzling Gleam, I think, which would have been more interesting to give out than Psychic, but it was just like randomly Psychic instead.
Why such a useless
Um,
Pokemon have so many legacy moves? Like, ain't no one ever using. I don't think to this day in all my years of PvP, right? I've even seen an Alakazam in PvP in any format, in any limited open league, etc. I don't think I've seen a single. Okay, maybe in limited one. I think I used to counter Alakazam once actually, but
Okay. Caleb, this is a good thing because, guys, people are always complaining every time something gets a new move. It's like, oh my gosh, more TM roulette. If we start taking moves out that are bad and put them in the legacy pile, we're not going to TM into them. This is smart. This is
yeah.
Steve's got a point. He's got a point here.
I guess
but
that's
yeah.
true.
trying to help, man.
That is one way of reframing it. Yeah. If do us a favor, Scopely Explore staff, and just make all the boom bursts moves from every Pokemon legacy at this point.
No, that's good. We
You
need
know?
that.
Yeah, I still don't even know how much energy that is or how much it does because I've never seen it being used.
The answer is too much and not enough.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Exactly.
Well, there was another one, like, it was more useful, but, like, it caught me off guard too, is that Beedrill had Bug Bite as the legacy instead of Drill Run, which, like, is still useful at times, but I feel like you're going to be running Drill Run more often.
Hey, at
And,
USC
like,
though, it was like triple bug moveset actually was the play.
true,
So
true, fair enough.
yeah, so that
But also,
actually
like, I feel like
really needed
feel like
Drill
people have more uh fast elite TMs than Charge as well.
Run. Yeah, I'm actually kind of even on both. Funny enough,
I have.
I
way
am
more
too.
I think
fast
we
elite
get
TMs.
more like charge TMs. You what, Kaz?
I have way more fast elite TMs than I do charged ones.
Yeah.
I think I
Yeah.
have like 4 charged ones and like 13 fast.
Yeah. I will say bright side about this event is big fan of them racing Ivy floor, even if it's by 1, because it cuts down the chances of getting a hundo severely. So it's nice because I mean, I didn't get a hundo on the second day, which I'm sure like I wish I did, but at the end of the day, like it's still better than not getting anything.
Yeah, for sure. I feel it's crazy though because even with that like increased IV floor, I felt like the people I was with, I feel like we like didn't actually notice like the difference of it because like there was someone I was rating with and he rated even more than I did. He didn't get a single Hondo all weekend. He didn't even get a 98 with 14 HP either. Like
Yeah.
it was crazy because he probably did like I don't know like 200 raids or something, maybe more, with like no dice, and like I did. I mean, I guess I was like right around odds. Yeah, I got 1 hundo and then I got a 98 shiny with the background, and it was like one was an X and one was a Y. So like I'm pretty happy with that overall.
Yeah.
Okay,
But-
that is pretty like just how odds go though, and the fact that normally it'd be like 1 in 200, what 6 times 6 times 6? Is that 1 in
216. Yeah.
It's like it's half, like double the odds basically. But
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm saying like it's definitely better. I'm just saying like it just didn't feel like it was better, and like maybe that's just sort of a like it just I don't know, just the vibes. And I'm actually wrong, but it just felt like there was like with the number of raids we did, it felt like there wasn't as many hundos within the group as I would have expected given the better odds. But
I guess to put the anecdote on the other side, our mob seemed to do pretty well. I mean, one chick got 2 shundos. So
dang.
I mean, I didn't raid as much as y'all. I didn't even get to play as much as y'all. I didn't catch a single hundo the entire weekend.
Dang.
I mean, I just got the one guy. Like, I didn't get any others from anything else. But...
And then the one other thing on the raids is like I don't even know why they decided to put the other megas in raids, because like there were so few of them anyways, but also they were just taking up like gym raid slots from other things people would have rather done. Like,
Dude, something I speaking of mega, something I really realized, right? Because I was talking to Dapper and BP on Sunday, and Dapper's using his what's that thing called? The cart the thing for super mega raids that you could use.
Link charges.
Link charges.
Link charges. He's using link charges for the free ones, right? Once he ran out past it, he's like, "Oh, this is really clutch." I was like, "Yeah," and I thought about it. I was like, "You know what? That idea was honestly genius for a money making standpoint because." It's great for the free-to-play players that get some extra rates out of it once they use up their orange passes. But it's an extra pretty penny to spend if you're a remote raider for Super Megas. Because because you have to buy the remote raid pass and the link charge, which is insane. But I don't really remote raid much in general because I just don't think it's worth it. And, I mean, obviously, like, people can spend their money how they want to, but, like, I'm pretty sure they made a lot more money making the link charges required for remote super raids than people spending for free. Because not even everyone spends the free amounts like daily. Like I don't, right?
There's a reason they gave us a free Global Go Fest ticket, and it's not for the 10-year anniversary.
Right? Yeah. It wasn't all free to play. Let's just put it that way. But credit where credit's due. From a money making standpoint, Pretty clever. Pretty clever. Give that person a raise. Whoever came up with the link charges idea. I mean, again, like it's not like every remote raid you need to use it, but for the super megas you do. And I mean, honestly, just for the fact that like honestly, just releasing that during Go Tour like 5 months ago for this moment was probably worth it.
Well, but it covered Go Tour as well, right? Because they released new
yeah.
megas then too.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
thing that and the thing too with the system is it's like, because like you can get free link charges from like doing like the weekly challenges and whatever. But the thing is, the normal limit is only like 600, and it's pretty easy to stack up to 600, which is only 3 raids worth, by the way.
Yeah.
But there's so many like regular like in between these big events, like there's so many times where you're not using the link charges because like I mean I guess you can use it for a regular mega raid if you're like in person and already used your free daily passes, but like that's such a niche situation that like realistically you're probably only using link charges for super megas, which like don't roll around that often in general.
Yeah.
So it's like a weird resource where it's like when you actually want it, you're fairly limited on it, and then the rest of the time you just sort of hit the cap because the cap is so low. And again, I get why they did it from like a money making perspective, but it's definitely a system that's not set up very much in the player's favor by any means.
Yeah.
I kind of disagree a little bit in that it's like it's kind of just more free raid passes, Like,
How many remote raids did you do?
0.
That's what I'm saying.
I used to link charges, but like,
well, no, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I think for the remote raiders, it is going to cost like almost double to do these, though, right? Because the link charges by itself.
yeah, but like, say that you're allowed to farm up like 5,000 like link charges, which you just sort of get over time. You do your weekly.
But you can't because there's a daily cap.
Say that like imagine the world where you can.
Okay.
Yes, like say the limit was 5,000 instead of like a really low 600. You get this 5,000 link charges. Then you like go to GoFest Global or whatever. You can burn just like free raid after free raid after free raid after free raid. Like that's so many free raid passes that it's kind of like it would be whack to let you store up heaps, especially when you sort of just get them in the background and you don't really think.
Yeah, no, I don't think it should be a crazy high, but like I think like maybe 1,000 wouldn't be an unreasonable middle ground. But again, I get why they keep it low.
Well, I think personally speaking, again, they're not a nonprofit, so I get it. I think personally speaking, if they want to do this just for the benefit of the players, they'll give you link charges, and you can use link charges or remote raid passes for super megas, or maybe forget that you can't, or sorry, super mega remote raids, but maybe forget the link charges because that gives you free remote raids. Just the remote raids is enough, right? You only need the link charges for like in person as an option. If you run out past that. I think that would be like if they really want to make it like a good faith, oh, here's something free from us, right? But instead they're like, here's something free from us, but if you want to do some remotes, oh, we know these people got some monies that we can tap into, buy something else, right? And again, I'm not even hating on the people that made this idea. I think it's actually pretty clever, and it probably got them a lot of money. And like play as much as you want. Like I think remote raiding is unfortunate for people in rural areas that they have to depend on it. But but like it is not every raid. It's the super megas, so maybe that's a little bit better. But I feel like maybe down the road, super megas will be pretty commonplace. Like when what's this thing called? Zygarde comes out. I'm sure it's going to be a super mega raid. It ain't going to be in regular raids. I feel like every new mega is going to be a super mega, right? Have we seen a new mega come out that wasn't? Like even like I think even like Raichu is even a super mega.
Yeah,
right?
Raichu, Skarmory, Phalanx are all super megas.
Which I'm a little concerned about because it seems like at this point it's not like a special raid anymore. It's just I think like down the road every future mega raid will become a super mega raid, and that's when they really catch it.
Yeah,
but we didn't before they started releasing the super mega raids. We didn't have all the megas in the game that already
we had. So Kaz,
at most
before super megas, we had every non-ZA mega besides Mewtwo.
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's pretty much every one of them, yeah. And
So
they probably
then
saved up for the Mewtwo moment.
Right.
For this,
so besides Mewtwo, all the new megas we've gotten: Dragonite, Malamar, Victreebel, Phalanx, Skarmory, Raichus. Like those are all like the new megas from like ZA.
See, that's what I wasn't clear on. I thought we were still missing a few that had already been released, and I was like, well, are those also going to be like super mega?
But theoretically too, at some point they will likely be bringing back megas like Metagross or Salamence or any of those in Super Mega Raids to unlock their Mega 4. Because we don't have Mega
Right.
4s of any of those.
Of course.
Yeah.
For the content.
Rayquaza, etc., etc., etc. So like that's I don't know when, but that's theoretically down the road at some point because I don't think they would make this new whole Mega 4 system and leave out like half the megas in existence.
Yeah.
Just from a gameplay standpoint and from a money making standpoint, if we're being real. So there's that.
I think the last thing to talk about here is I know some people lost some raid passes from like their raid issues. What exactly were the raid issues? Because I wasn't playing when they were out and about.
Yeah. So basically, people's games would just randomly, like as an individual, get hit with this glitch where they basically couldn't like do raids. Like it just wouldn't let you in. For the most part, it wasn't actually burning people's passes. Like I think it might have been there might have been some more problems around remote passes. But, like it wouldn't like for me personally, it wouldn't use my passes. So like it wasn't a big deal. Actually, I think I did lose one because I put in a support ticket and I was like, I don't know if I lost any, but I might have. And they were like, yeah, here's one back. I was like, fair enough. So it must have been one that like I joined and then it kicked me out. Whatever. Anyway, you just couldn't raid. And the fix that I don't know how people found this out, but the fix, the first thing you do is you do like a battle, like you'd battle Blanche and you'd like jump in, you'd just back out. And for some people that would fix it. Often that wouldn't be enough. So what you had to do, you had to like battle Blanche and then refresh your game data and then turn on smooth graphics, enhanced graphics, whatever, like the smooth thingo. And then that might fix your game. And then you might be able to raid. But then you also I was playing with one guy and he was just getting hit by it again and again and again. He probably
it's inconsistent even people in the same region?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like it would just hit individuals.
Wow.
So he probably played like 5 hours of GoFest getting hit by this thing. And he was just like having to fix it and fix it. And
Right.
fix it, like one
And that
raid.
obviously affects like it affected like the the typical APAC time zones significantly more than anyone else.
Yeah.
Though it was affecting
Thank you for
like
your service.
it was I heard it was affecting people from like the Americas and stuff mostly who were trying to remote in were also getting the same bug.
Yeah.
I heard there was also a fix similar to the Blanche thing that Steve was saying where I think if you challenged like maybe a friend in a trainer battle or maybe even like a Team Rocket someone, maybe that fixed it too. I didn't have the problem myself, so I didn't try it, but I heard there were some weird like fixes like that. But eventually they ended up like troubleshooting, and for some reason they found out that the way to fix it was to disable Team Go Rocket. I don't know how those were connected, but for some reason disabling Team Rocket made it so people didn't have the problem anymore.
Yeah.
Spaghetti
So
code,
then
man.
Pretty much. So then Team Rocket was disabled for like, I don't know, I think it was like maybe 24 to 48 hours. And then it was so silly to me. There was all these people that were raging because being Team Rocket like people is part of the one of the bottle cap steps. And they're like, oh, like I'm getting stuck on this step of the bottle cap. And I'm like, guys, you have 365 days to finish your bottle cap. You are going to be perfectly fine if it takes you a month to finish it instead of a couple weeks. Or if it takes you a week instead of 2 days. Like, you're going to be okay if you don't finish your bottle cap tomorrow.
I just finished my gold bottle cap like on my Farfetch like one day before it expired because the last thing I needed to do was have it as my buddy in my raid party, and I could never remember to do.
See,
That's
see
fair.
Tristan? Yeah. Now, next year, Kaz might not finish her golden bottle cap because she would have been stuck on the
That's why I
rocket
didn't.
research.
That's why I didn't buy it this year. I was like, you know what?
Oh, you didn't buy it at all?
I'm not,
Wait, what
I'm
do you
not-
spend on the last one again?
She just said Farfetch.
the
Oh, Farfetch, right. Yeah.
So yeah, I was just like, no,
I mean, I think
I'm not
it's
gonna
fair,
put. I'm not gonna put myself in this mess again.
Yeah, well, because you don't really play Master either, right? So I kind of.
It's true.
Get it, yeah.
Like there's just at this point, there's so many things. Like I can't. I can't be held responsible for these sorts of things.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Anyway, that's our general thoughts on GoFest. I don't know if anyone else has. Oh wait, how many raids did you end up doing, Tristan?
I said I don't know because I didn't like actually think to like screenshot it or track it. But my guess is like between like 120 and 150 probably.
For the weekend, right?
Yeah, for the
not
weekend.
per day.
No, not per day.
Yeah. Okay. That's quite a bit. Did you do a lot of remotes too?
I did I did a decent chunk remotes of X because I didn't know when I was gonna be actually starting playing on Saturday. Cause I knew I had to pick someone up from the airport whose flight got delayed and wasn't getting in until like 3 or 4 a.m. And so I knew I was gonna want to like sleep in after that and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know like how late I was gonna get out there, and like I also hadn't like raided in this community before, and I didn't know like how many people are gonna be out. Like by the time I get out, is everyone gonna be done raiding and I'm gonna be SOL? Like I just didn't know what to expect, so I didn't want to like finally go out and just not be able to raid and be in a bad spot. So like I did a decent chunk in advance just to be sure that I would be okay. Which worked out because that's how I got my like shiny 98 background.
Oh,
And
nice.
and then once I hit that, I was like, okay, well, I'm good on a Mewtwo X. Like I need a little more energy, but like I'm doing pretty good, and I stopped remoting from there. And then I didn't really remote Y hardly at all. Because I was like, after I'd done one day, I was like, I know I'll be able to get what I need in person. I still did some remotes, but not for Mewtwo's. I was mostly remoting if I saw people doing like Palkias, because I still am hunting for the hundo.
Oh, you still didn't get it even after
no.
the remote luckies?
No, I'm at
Dang.
I think I'm at like, I don't remember, 50 or 60 lucky trades for Palkia at this point.
Holy.
I also like when Palkia was in raids on Friday, I did a bunch of remotes. I was like joining like BJ's like raid hour. And then I went out for raid hour myself in person. I did a bunch of raids, a bunch of lucky trades, still no hundo. So like that was honestly the main thing I was remoting into. Also, like I remoted into like a couple like Lunalas and I think Zekroms or something because I like still need those. But like yeah, so for like Sunday, like Saturday night into Sunday, like I wasn't really remoting the Mewtwo Ys because I knew I could do it, and I also was like out of link charges at that point, and I was like, it's not worth it to be spending for remote raid passes and link charges. Like that's just a lot.
You know what I heard though from someone that works at Scopely that might be able to explain this on why you haven't gotten the 100 yet. I was asking that specifically about like I use you as a case study example, and they're just like, yeah, Caleb, you don't understand though. This is a forever game, so we need Tristan playing this game forever.
They named you specifically, Tristan.
Yeah.
They were like, we'll give him everything else except.
Dude, Auburn was crushing out because he was like 80 plus lucky trades in on Lunala with no hundo. But
I think those are about to hit raid soon, right? Because we got Solgaleo coming, so my guess is Lunala comes after. But, I don't actually know this. So don't quote me on it, but that's
everyone's guess. Is probably Shiny Lunala in August, but we don't know. Yeah. But I actually sent Auburn
to raid it. I was just like, dude, chill. Like
I was sending him any Lunala invites I saw, and he actually did a few. And from one of the ones I sent him, he got a hundo with a background. So
okay.
he was happy. He was chilling, but he was crashing out before the event because he was like, I'm 80 plus lucky trades deep. Like Lunala is like one of like 10 raid bosses or 12 raid bosses. Like you're not gonna hardly see any. But I sent him the hundo, so that all worked out at least.
Yeah, I mean that that thing is pretty nice. So I get it.
Yeah, I'd love to have one. Yeah, it looks real good in Master League for sure.
Oh, you don't have that either. Wait, you're really stressing about? Are you trying to play Master League, or you just like to have the hundo? Because I don't think I've ever seen you even play Master League before, right?
I've played a little. I've been like trying to like. The main reason I haven't played is because I haven't really had a roster to date.
Yeah.
So I've been like trying to like get a workable roster, and like I'm definitely getting there because
That's
like
so weird. 'Cause I feel like you raid more than me. Like, how do I have more like legendary hundos?
I don't. I only really raid during like the big events, pretty much.
Yeah, I barely raid on a daily basis. Like, I don't even spend my daily raid pass.
I like almost never spend my daily raid pass.
But you have more total legendary raids than I do by quite a margin. I feel
yeah,
like.
but a lot of those were because I was a big raider pre PvP. So like a high percentage of my raid numbers were from the pre PvP days, and we're on a bunch of the like stuff that's not even useful in PvP. Like I did a bunch of Rayquazas and Articunos and Zapdoses and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that was also pre-XLs as well.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So like even the stuff I rated a lot, I would potentially, even if I don't even remember, but like I have I think like a Hundo Moltres maybe, not that it's useful in Master League, but like if I even wanted to use it, I'd have to rate it even more because I don't have the XLs.
I feel like in recent memory, you still rate more than me, but I could be wrong, or maybe I'm just getting like super lucky and stuff on some of my like lucky trades, because I do like try to knock out all my lucky trades whenever I can. And I don't know. Do you ever re-roll what do you call it? Legendaries, like with like just to use your daily special trade, like re-rolling with someone?
Every once in a while, but
because I think that helped me a lot. I got a couple hundos off of that alone. It was particularly when I lived with my ex, and then I would just like swap with her account. And stuff.
Yeah. I do it every once in a while, but not that much. But I mean, I think I try to do my lucky trades too. But the thing was, for the longest time, I was so far from having anything close to usable Master League mons that I like was focusing all my lucky trades on like Great League stuff, anyways.
Yeah.
But now I'm at a point where I'm sort of splitting between the two. But like, I'm getting a lot closer to having more usable stuff. Like I just got a Hundo Reshiram from the raid event the week leading up to GoFest. So that was nice. I have that now. And then I have most of the like big event mons. I'm still missing a few. Like I'm missing Zekrom, Lunala, which I need XLs for.
Yeah.
Are probably the main two I still need. And then like I don't have like Ho-Oh or Lugia, not that those are like that good at the moment, but would be nice to have eventually. But
all right, okay. Let's move on because we talked about this quite a bit.
Yeah.
Quick round the room. So Cass didn't spend a bottle cap.
I'm guessing Steve didn't either.
Nah, it ain't worth it, Doug. 30
what
bucks.
what did you spend yours on?
Me?
Yeah.
I haven't used it yet.
Oh, okay.
Dude,
I was going to do the Shiny Keldeo, but I finally finished the Shiny Keldeo research during GoFest, and I got a 15-15-10. So I'm like, I'll just use a future silver bottle cap on this.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And so I use it on the highly useful Master League Shiny Mew.
Oh my god!
Wait, have you powered how like useless some like you should save your bottle cap for something more useful, and meanwhile I'm using it on a Shiny Mew.
Wait, have you powered it up though, or no?
No, I haven't.
Because I was gonna say like
I just want to use it on a Shiny Mythical because I don't want to use it on Marshadow. Marshadow's like I know like the Shiny's not even out in the main series game I heard, but like it's just not that useful in Master League. Like I've never really struggled that hard facing it. Like it's annoying, but like
because Mew's so much more useful than
no. I get that, but I'll just spend it on like a Shiny Marshadow down the road. I would have even spent it on a Shiny Diancie if I had one, but I'm on part 2 of that task, and it's like a 21-day like time block.
Yeah. Because I was gonna say with Mew, like the thing is, because I've been talking to some people who like maybe don't Master League really at all or very much, and like with like Mew, I think it's like Mew, Celebi, Jirachi, Victini, they all have like the same stats, and if your mythical doesn't have 10 or 11 attack, like it has more than that, then the best Great League IVs you can bottle cap it for is actually the Hundo. So like you could always leave it as like a Hundo Great League Mew until you really want to use it for Master League.
Oh shoot, I might have powered like one too many times at this point. Oh no, it's at 1483.
Yeah, so like I think and you'd have to check for sure, but I think making it a hundo,
Yeah, it puts
unless
me at
you've
1492, and it might, yeah, it might be worth
yeah,
it.
yeah. So like again, and if you ever want to make it Master League, you can just max it out at that point. But
Yeah,
like hundo of some of those mythicals is actually the best spread for you if you have higher than an 11 attack stat.
yeah,
Um, I'm
yeah,
I'm most likely gonna do Shiny Keldeo. Um, because again, trying to work up the Master League roster. Um, the only other two mons that I'm considering, because they're both like somewhat useful and have like sentimental value, is part of me wants. I also have a shiny Farfetch'd I caught in Japan when we were there for like Worlds and Go Fest. So that has like sentimental value and would be kind of a fun one. Um, and then I also have a shiny Osaka background Xerneas
yeah,
that's tempting to bottle cap because of the sentimental value. And like I think my best Xerneas is like a 98 with 14 defense that I haven't like built yet.
yeah,
So that's like another option, but like I'll most likely end up going for the Caldeo for being honest.
yeah. It's
Um,
definitely the most useful, I would say.
yeah, I think
Okay,
that's the biggest one I've heard, and then after that, I think people are mostly going for like Eternatus, Zygarde, and
Eternatus,
Shadow.
Zygarde, I'm not a huge fan of, and I've said this many times. I'll say it again. It's the only way you could get a Great League Zygarde, and like this is not a mythical, so you should be able to rate it down the road. You should be able to trade it down the road. Same thing with Eternatus. And it's just like yes, you could still get a Great League Zygarde complete without the one you have, but it's harder to trade it, right? Like you can
Yeah,
maybe try to get someone that not PvPs that does it. Zygarde is absolutely like still a powerhouse, like in Ultra League and like a bit in Master League, not as much, but still a bit. But it's definitely still more useful than Eternatus. But that's the main reason why I'm staying away from the Zygarde, and then Eternatus is just not good. Like in Master League, I've not seen a single high elo leaderboard Master League player run Eternatus. I've never run it myself. I've never seen anyone run it. I used my silver bottle cap on it. Like, yeah, I did spend my silver bottle cap on it because like a 15, like 10, 15 or whatever. But I wouldn't spend a golden bottle
yeah.
cap.
I think
If
with
you want to use it for
Eternit,
like Dynamax and Gigantamax, maybe, but I don't personally do those enough to
yeah.
justify it. But
The
I've
thing
used
I've
those for it too, and it's
the
not
thing
bad.
I've heard and finished with Eternit, well, I think with Eternatus, some people don't have like the XLs to make it a level 50, and that's obviously a big difference.
Yeah,
I've also heard that, again, I haven't looked into this myself, so this is just like what I've heard from other people, but like apparently IVs on Eternatus are actually very important. So there's like,
it is, but like it's just not a good Pokemon Master League either way. You know, it's like saying like IVs on a Dragonite is important Master League. Like that might be true, but like it's just pretty useless still in my mind, right?
yeah, again, I don't know enough about Eternatus to
Yeah,
say, but like apparently like the Hundo or like really high IVs actually has a big performance difference than like a bad IV one.
it
So
probably
I don't
does.
know.
Yeah, but again, if you name a name of a person that says this, right? I will double check them on that because I don't think they play enough Master League to like know what they're talking about because the turns is just not it. I mean, who knows? In the future, maybe, right? But it's just like not relevant at all in in Master League right now. It's not even an accessibility issue because Zygarde, you can say the same thing as accessibility issue, and people still ran that in its heyday. Not anymore, but in its heyday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then on Zygarde, just the last thing is like
Yeah.
we mentioned, it does have a mega in ZA, so at some point they theoretically will be giving us a
Yeah.
mega
Yeah.
Zygarde, which is
And
probably
shiny
going to be in
too.
raids. So like,
Yeah. I just think like it could be good in the future, but like it's not that good right now. So like you might as well just save it for something else because you're gonna get another golden bottle cap and silver bottle cap, assuming like sometime down the road is in all likelihood. So like why not wait for at least when the shiny drops, right? Let alone the mega, but or when they like are readily available. It's like, you know, imagine if you spent your like bottle cap on a Hoopa and then like Hoopa Unbound started being raised like all over the place. Like
yeah.
yeah, but
And then I think too, if you're not doing Master League, like just think of like what Pokemon are like harder to get. Like I think depending on what you have, like stuff like Great League, Cresselia, Regidrago, Giratina Origin are worth considering. Like far-fetched Pachiriso as Hundos, I guess. Like you can lucky trade those, but like maybe if you have the shiny, just
yeah.
because I know some people have been looking for like non-Master League stuff.
Yeah, don't do
Those
the
are-
shiny gut sword for Gregory like Butter said. That thing is still useless to this day. Anyway, all right. Super Mega Raichu Raid Day is our upcoming event that's happening this upcoming weekend. So be on lookout for it if you like. We get the Mega Raichu X and Y. I don't know if they'll be that PvP relevant.
Are they-
Even if
No.
like not
What's
Master League, but
the-
like I know we have Ultra League PvP coming around.
No, I think their stats are just not good.
Yeah.
I think someone was saying like one of them might be the best electric attacker after this, but for raids, but like I don't think they have much PvP relevance
No,
as
I
far
don't
as I know.
So they're both appearing in raids at the same time?
Yes.
Like in the same window? It's
Yes.
just going to be randomized? Okay.
Yeah, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Looks like they're both just in there.
You could get up to 14 raid passes from spinning photo gym discs.
Wait, 14 is the ticket.
Yeah,
Oh,
up to
sorry, the bet
six.
ticket. Yeah, how much is it?
Up to
free?
6 free raid passes.
6. Okay, I was getting excited for a second.
Yeah, it's like I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I was like, oh, the
Shelled out
double
on this
Pikachu. Maybe that's why I bet double Raichu.
stuff.
I don't
yeah,
know if
no.
I'll be able to even do this. I'm hanging out with a friend that day, but that's pretty much it.
And
Just
yeah, and they have the mega level 1 unlocked if you catch them from the raids.
Yeah.
So there's that.
That's the
July
whole-
18th, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. That is the dates for that. And then we have ourselves Professor Willow's birthday on next Tuesday, or some say Tuesday,
in it.
10 a.m. Huh?
What?
Some people say Tuesday.
Why?
I say
Like,
Tuesday.
accents. What you mean? There's no way you haven't heard an English person say Tuesday before. It's Tuesday,
Yeah,
isn't it?
there is.
I don't think I've ever used Tuesday as
You're
just
not
a-
English.
Yeah,
what do you
I'm
mean?
I'm a Tuesday guy, you know.
Oh, you say Tuesday,
Yeah,
right?
I'm a Tuesday guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm surprised that Kaz is like, what? Like, have you heard?
I guess I've never really sat and thought about it.
He said Tuesday at least like 100 times since he's been on a podcast.
Apparently, my brain just doesn't work
Yeah.
for me, Caleb. It
Yeah.
just says.
Kaz
you know
don't listen to
what,
the
it's
podcast. She's not here,
fine.
and she doesn't listen when Steve says Tuesday.
Yes, we haven't
That's what I
spoken in
was-
3 years.
Yeah, I was more surprised by Kaz's response to anything else. Okay, anyway, it is the 21st, Tuesday, 10 a.m. sorry, to 8 p.m. And you get Professor Willow's assistant Pikachu. Is this a new Pikachu? It is, right?
Yeah,
New
it
Pikachu
is.
Pikachu
costume.
shiny?
Right
What
after
the
we've
heck?
already had the repeats of all the other costumes.
Well,
they
but this
give us
one,
a
this
new
one's
one.
special because you don't get one, right?
No. It's a
Time research.
appearance.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
multiple
no,
time.
no, no.
research.
No, it's just a
That's
free
Field
time
Time
research.
And
research,
raids.
snapshots, and raids.
Oh,
so you
okay.
have multiple opportunities.
Shoot, you
for
know
the lab
what?
coat.
Maybe I will. Maybe I will get that assistant professor. You know,
Yeah.
Yo, if you
Field
might-
research, time research, snapshot surprises, and raids.
That's kind of an interesting one. I don't know. It's not like super mind blowing, but could be.
And you can possibly get one with a team leader specific special background if you're lucky.
Is it my team leader or is it just any team leader?
A team leader.
I mean,
thought I
it's
read
kind
a
of cool.
Twitter
It gives
thing
something
that
else
it was
for people to
yours.
collect. Dude, background plus shiny. They definitely hit the jackpot in finding ways to monetize this game. I'll just put it that way. Anyway, that's the events that are upcoming. Let's head to Kaz's Corner. I'm ready to take the lead.
Are you sure?
Oh,
Are
I'm
you
sure.
sure about that?
I'm ready to take the lead. Will I take the lead? I'm probably not, but I'm ready to take the lead.
Hey,
Ready?
last time we already burned one of Tristan's little boosters.
Hey,
we
we're
can get
we're
another.
doing it in record time now. Like,
Yeah, we've done more in the last 3 weeks than the rest of the year.
that's actually quite true. So, with the release of the super mega Raichu of both forms, we're gonna focus on that evolution. We're gonna focus on Raichu. So when Raichu has too much electrical energy, how does it actually ground itself? Like, how does it ground all that extra electrical energy?
Raichu regular?
Yeah, the regular Raichu.
are we trying to
Regular
come up with
regular Kanto Raichu?
Are we trying to come up with an action here?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
What does it do
I have
to
an idea.
ground the extra electrical
Kanto
energy?
Raichu.
And
Okay.
yes, you can look up a picture of Kanto Raichu.
It's necessary. I'm locking in my answer.
It's Steve. It's gotten you in the lead several times before.
This is true.
So when
I'm
it has too much energy, what does it do?
Yeah, too much of an electrical charge. Like, what does it do to ground that energy?
I'm ready. I'm adding emojis now. Quick, Kaz, get
All
the
right.
bike wheel back out. Spin that wheel.
Spin the wheel.
Send it.
Okay, Tristan, how are you doing?
Hold on, I'm looking at this picture.
It's very important.
Now I'm in Google. I always just like type in the Pokemon, like Raichu. So I'm doing the Google catch Raichu thing. Oh my gosh, I'm at 1 out of 151 Pokemon. It's crazy. You'd think it would remember because I've definitely done this before. Now that I think about it,
Your Google just doesn't know you well enough still.
I guess
All right,
not.
say the question. Say the question one more time.
When the Kanto Raichu
Yeah.
has too much of electrical charge, how does it ground that electrical charge? Like, how does it actually ground that energy? Where's the wheel? Oh, wait. Oh, that one's not loud. There's so many bike tires in here, and I just picked the one that doesn't have the clackers.
Oh.
All right, sure.
Okay.
Okay, so is everybody ready?
Ready.
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, send. Okay, Tristan says it releases through its cheeks. Steve says it stabs its tail into the ground, and lightning bolt emoji.
Yep.
And then Caleb said sticks its tail into the ground. And Steve and Caleb are correct.
Oh
No.
Boom.
Like I said, I'm ready to take the lead with Steve.
Yeah, I'm coming with.
Well, you were already in that lead.
This would have been a good one to steal one of our things for, right? A review.
Yeah, we were just sassing about how, like, oh, maybe Tristan doesn't need a lifeline this time. We've done so many.
That would imagine if he used the future sight and he saw both of our answers and he's like, "Nah, I'm not gonna do that."
No
you could have
way.
been worse, Tristan. You could have used a lifeline and still got it wrong by passing up on it.
Well.
Okay, well,
I'll be
Tristan
honest.
has the advantage this season and is still somehow behind.
see, that's the what do you call it? That's the rabbit's like fallacy, right? In Turtleverse in the hair, right? You think you're ahead, so you're like, I'm chilling. Well, I'm
Sometimes
the
it
tortoise.
works though. He's gonna come back later
Yeah.
this year and be like, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. Is there anything GBL relevant that we should talk about?
Kieran.
Nah.
No.
I
Yeah.
don't think so.
Kieran.
I mean, I guess we can.
I mean, it's banned because they gave it the wrong move. Whoopsies.
Yeah.
They'll fix it.
Yeah, Kieran's banned. essentially, yeah.
Nothing really new has
There's
happened.
ways to
This
get
has
it, and
happened
people
so
spend
many
a bunch of
times
fusion
before.
energy just for it to be banned. Like, I don't know. I saw it, and I'm like, it's not even worth spending the energy on because they're going to patch it. Like, it just makes no sense. Okay, we have ourselves championship series, and there has been a few things. Zeraor's removed from the ban list, but that's not really that relevant. They announced a lot of things for season 2027.
Yeah.
Gotta pour one out for the Unite homies, man. I don't know exactly what the future is. I mean, I'm just reading the same thing that everyone else pretty much read. But Unite, this is the last year Pokemon Unite will be at Worlds.
Yeah.
And they will still have some semblance of a circuit, I think, in Asia/Japan next year. But they won't be at ICs anymore. They won't be at Worlds anymore for the foreseeable future. And who knows what the circuit looks like. I don't think it's a good sign, right? Like, some people are like, maybe this is a good thing. I was like, I would love that optimism in my life too, but I don't think taking a game out of the world circuit is a great thing. The last time that happened was Pokken. And
Yeah, it just says there's going to be a standalone in-person Unite event planned to take place in Japan.
Yeah.
It sort of just sounds like because like I've got a lot of Unite Twitter on my feed. I mean, I play the game, I guess, including in the championship series. And
Debbie and the Pebbles.
Debbie and the Pebbles. I guess R.I.P. Debbie and the Pebbles? Question mark maybe. The
Or
fact of
maybe
the
you
matter
can
is-
travel to Japan.
You guys sound like a
Whoa.
Flintstone cereal brand.
It sort of feels like it is just the top Unite player in the world was sort of like, look, this sort of looks like it's just gonna be its own circuit. Like it's not going to be in the championship series, but it may not necessarily mean that Unite is dead per se.
Who said that? Was it Overlord?
Yeah. He
Oh,
was
okay.
like, maybe. So I don't know. I think there is reason to believe that there will still be a circuit and the game isn't dead, but it's just not in the official championship series anymore. Which does it's not a great thing for them by any stretch. And it's unfortunate because it's a cool game and it's a cool game to watch, especially I remember watching it at Worlds in the stadium, and it was kind of a cool game. I do think that this decision has a pretty heavy weight on another update that is coming. But
yeah, we'll get to that part. So it does end there, and honestly it's a little worrisome for me to me, and I don't know how other people feel about it. So Pokemon obviously got cuts, right? I think a lot of it was also their attendance wasn't as high. And I heard COVID kind of killed some of their competitive circuit as well because a lot of it was in person. I don't know how exactly the story behind it, so I can't say in particular, but I do know Unite pretty well, and their base probably hasn't grown enough. I don't know exactly how big the circuit is, but there's a lot of grievances with the game that I hear from a lot of the creators constantly and stuff, and I don't know. It might just be a little bit harder to run, right? Because they don't have the regional attendance the same way they have online circuits and stuff, which is still there, but I don't know. There might be something to it. I'm a little concerned when I read that because I don't think Pokemon Go's competitive numbers are that uncomparable. I think it's quite comparable to Unite's, right? Maybe the numbers are similar-ish, maybe a little bit more, but not anywhere on VG and TCG's level. Obviously, TCG and VGC have been in the competitive circuit for way longer, so you could give them a little bit of credit. But if they're willing to cut Unite after a couple years, I'm a little scared that they're willing to cut Go, in a few years or a year or so, you never know, right? And
Yeah,
I think
I
this
mean,
is
isn't Unite
biggest-
interest dropping off though? Is the vibe I've been getting
It is, but Go's interest has really not changed that much, if we look at JJN's data from what we talked about last week, an average participation rate, it's gone down in EU, not by much, it's gone down, and yes, it's increased in some of the other regions, but not by much, by a couple. A couple people a year, right? On average at a tournament. That's not a lot, right? It's highly concerning to me still. And obviously we're invested in it because it's the game we play. But just in general, I'm begging Scopely Explore staff every week to make this game more accessible, right? Because it's so not accessible. Honestly, Pokemon Unite is more accessible than Pokemon Go competitive. 100%. Because you go and play in the tournament mode, you have everything unlocked. Everything. You don't need to buy a rental team or nothing. It's for free, right? Yes, if you want to play the rank mode, you have to unlock things over time. But if you want to play competitively, everything is unlocked. Imagine if you queue up and you show up to a tournament in who knows, Baltimore, whatever, right? New Orleans, you name it, wherever. And you could bring any Pokemon in the world with any moveset unlocked and ready to go, powered up. You don't have to spend anything. That's Unite, and Unite's all online, right? You don't have to outside the ICs and Worlds, it's all online. You don't have to go. You don't even spend money to travel, right? But maybe the numbers are still lacking in that respect too. I don't know. I haven't been keeping up with the competitive circuit on the regular basis as much, but
yeah, I mean, I don't know the specifics, but I don't, just the sort of general sentiment I've gotten is interest. I think among players and people that watch, I think the interest just has been kind of dropping.
Yeah.
I think over time, it's lost the excitement, and I think people have just been getting frustrated with some of the game design and the way that Timmy has been managing things. So again, I don't really have a direct comparison. I don't know what their numbers are at, but it just seems it's been on the decline.
Yeah.
Whereas,
And that might
like,
be the case, right? Like, I think, like, Go, like, there's still a ton of people that play the game on a regular basis. But competitively, it's like the percentile is like 0.001 probably, right? Or maybe less than that, right? It's
it's
actually,
pretty small, but like I I agree with you. Like, it's not like Go is growing a ton, but I don't think it's currently declining. Obviously, depending how this new PvP system goes, it might start declining if it doesn't go well. But
yeah.
like so far, I don't think it's been on the decline.
I'm really not even
So
concerned about
that's
a new PvP system because, like, I think all the good players will, like, eventually realize that, like, I mean, will it be perfect without bugs? No, but, like, our old system wasn't either. So I don't think
I
that will kill too
refuse
much.
to
and
believe that's a factor. It's just
that
not.
people quit because of the new system. That people quit because of the new system.
People are
Oh
not
yeah.
getting-
Yeah.
like,
I
it's
don't.
so not real.
No, it's so not real. Like if you play the new system, like yeah, it's frustrating at times. It's really not that bad, you know. But no, it's not that because the new players aren't going to know the difference between the new and old. People ask me all the time when I'm streaming, like, "What's the difference?" I was like, "Bro, like if you can't tell the difference, it's not going to affect you mentally that much, right?" Like yeah, I'll explain.
yeah,
the difference,
yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, that being said, so
We have events that have been announced, which is
Yeah.
like most of the season.
yeah, we
Um,
do.
Dude,
have-
Oceania got announced off rip the whole season. The
That
first
is
time
actually really
ever.
good. Yeah, I don't know why NA takes forever. Like I don't know how long it takes to like get these contracting things out, but NA is always like these days like the last region to get everything out.
Yeah.
I'm happy for the Oceania folks though, because you all can start planning travels like way in advance now.
You guys have almost as many events announced as NA.
Yeah, maybe more.
Let's not
honestly.
stretch
Yeah.
too far. It's,
Yeah.
What? No, it's 4 versus 5.
Are you counting NAIC?
That's not really a regional, but
It's an NA event.
There's only been 5 NA regionals announced. There were some people that were on like social media that were like freaking out because they're like, oh, there's no this location or that location.
yeah.
Like, oh, NA has so few, and it's like most likely it like because the last couple years it's been like a consistent like 9 NA, 9 LATAM, 9 EU, and it's like LATAM and EU both had 9 announced. So most likely there's 4 more NA regionals on the way at some point. Like,
yeah.
because like people were like all freaking out. They're like, oh, there's no Canadian events, and it's like,
Well, to be fair, they only had one Canadian event this year, so like I kind of get the concern because it's well, not only is it expensive to travel, but I think some people legit like cannot travel right now because of the travel restrictions in like in the US, right? Like it's
oh
kinda
yeah, I
annoying,
get it. Yeah, I get it for sure.
Yeah.
But like, odds are we're probably getting more events announced at some point for NA. So like, I don't think it's
for sure.
especially because like the post on social media that Play Pokemon made said like, I don't know, it was like season like event preview or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't
Like-
stress too much, honestly, is my whole point. But I
But yeah.
will say
LAI, but we're going back to the same like LAI season Sao Paulo, EUS season London, and we have the dates for all the ICs already.
yeah.
But what were you gonna say, Caleb?
I will say people freaking out a little bit early does lead to the big part of this event, of this announcement. There's 3v3s coming to Worlds next year. And next year's season is one like standard setup, but it's 3v3 right now for everything else, for just Worlds next year.
Yeah.
Which is kind of wild. What are your all thoughts on this, by the way?
Steve seems excited.
Dude, I get to play with all of my friends. It's gonna be so awesome. No,
You're gonna find out who's your
You
friends.
don't know that.
You're gonna
You
find
don't
out
know
who
that.
your friend is because they're like, yeah, Steve, you're the homie and everything, right? Ash and Ash, right? Ash and Ash. You'd be like, oh yeah, Steve, you're the GOAT, but like maybe not the GOAT for this format, to be on my team.
I
Maybe
truly
next
think-
year.
this is so incredibly bad for so many reasons.
Okay, let me hear it. Let me hear it. Let me hear
Okay.
it. Yeah. Let's hear your thoughts.
First of all, I do think that this is just because Unite got cut and higher ups, I don't know anything. Higher ups are then like, we need team format. We need those shots. Like, we've bought all these tables. We've got this nice stuff ready to go for a team format.
Okay.
BG and TCG, we can't make a team format. We need some sort of team angle. Let's make Go do it. Screw those guys. And so like the Go guys have been forced to figure it out, is my assumption.
Okay.
Anyway, so first of all, there's the bit where it's like, there's the easy logistical stuff that it's like, okay, what if you don't have a number of players divisible by 3? Once you factor in no-shows and people that can't make it and visa issues.
Well, imagine if it did, and what if one person no-showed, right? Like, what if you're on my team and I just decided to be like, I don't want to go, right? Last minute, then what, right?
I don't know. But
Or not last minute. You just know you're on Steve's team.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna know.
Yeah, but like there's a few bits, and that's a real one where it's like, okay, I was planning to sort of make a bit of a Worlds run this year, like try and qualify. But now I'm like, okay, if I qualify, I'm tanking 2 other people's Worlds runs. Like,
well, then take it. You better be practicing.
yeah, like I in that scenario, I'm obviously going to try and do my best, but I'm not Ilum. I'm not Accent. Like, I'm not Padaman. I'm not good
Just get
enough
on their
to
team.
win.
You're PP Steve. Man.
Yeah.
PP
But like,
Steve. Have any of those
whoever-
people gotten second place in South Africa? I think not.
That's right. But it's like, I'm just going to be tanking 2 other people's ability to compete, basically.
Sure.
And that feels bad, whether it's like we don't know any details at this point, right? So we don't know whether the teams are going to be randomized, which gosh, I hope not, because that is actually going to ruin someone's life. Like, imagine Padoman gets stuck with me. Like, it's over. It's just,
no, it's not over for everyone else. Everyone else got a chance now to make the grand finals.
You know what, Steve? You got to rise to the occasion.
Yeah, and, look, I'm sort of using myself as an example here because I don't want to go dog on other players, but like, because I think this has been an aspect that people have not been mentioning on social media to not be rude. But there's some people at Worlds that are not that good. That's just a fact. Like, it's not, for some people, it isn't always the hardest journey to get to Worlds. They're maybe not that talented. They aren't going to win Worlds. I am in that group where I am not going to win Worlds, probably. But all of these players have to go somewhere. And it's going to just break hearts when they're like, you know, they want to play with their friends. All of the good players are going to team up with each other. And everyone else is going to be like, picking from the scrap heap of like, suckers that are like, I guess
you're also making the assumption that there's a choice involved.
If there is not a choice, if it is randomized, it is actually so atrociously bad that I cannot possibly fathom.
But like how else could you, because what you're describing is also like equally unfair. Like people being able to pick and choose. Like there's really just like no, I can't see the way to do it that's like totally fair.
No.
and going to like result in actual like teamwork, because I mean, can you also imagine, like, let's even assume that it's not that it is randomized, but you get notified like a month in advance for communicative purposes, right? But like we have such a hard time sometimes dealing with the time zone difference. Like, can you imagine if you have 1 or even 2 people who are in like the total opposite side of the world?
Well, not only time zones, languages. What if you have a team with a Japanese player that speaks almost exclusively Japanese, someone from LATAM that speaks almost exclusively Spanish, and I don't know, someone from like France or something that speaks exclusively French? Yeah. How are they supposed to work together?
And then, like, say you've got regions like India. Usually, I'm just using India example. I know that it's not actually going to be the case this time. And actually, APAC numbers have increased, but I don't know if travel awards have increased. But say you've got a region where only 1 trainer attends. They might not know anyone. Like, you know what a great example would be? Like Divishan, who won one of the South African events. If he showed up to Worlds, he doesn't necessarily, like, maybe he doesn't know anyone because no one else is coming from South Africa. He's got to find a team of 3. And maybe their styles just don't gel. Maybe he's matched up with someone that doesn't really have any interest in communicating with them. Like, they just don't want to hang out. It's just like, we all see you at the battle table and that's about it. I don't want to talk strategy. I don't want to plan. It's like, oh, that kind of sucks. And so for new players, if you're a new player, you join the scene this season, you get to Worlds, you've done incredibly well for yourself, and you don't necessarily know people. and then you're forced to play what you've been playing is a single player game all season, and now all of a sudden you've got to play this completely different team based format where it's like, oh, I've got to find some buddies and play, I guess. It's just, I don't know. It doesn't feel like a fun experience to put your world's dreams in someone else's hands when that just isn't the Pokemon Go PvP experience at all.
Right. Well, and on top of that, well, like what you were saying, Steve, like a new player, but also I'm just thinking of like, especially anyone from like any like the TPC regions and also LATAM, because like those events also don't really get much or any stream coverage. So someone who like maybe sort of squeaked by into Worlds and like one of the like lower placements, like people might not really know who they are. Like especially LATAM, like
Yeah.
if it's not streamed, maybe you like string together a couple like top 32s and max out your local points, and that's enough to finish like 64th on the leaderboard or something. Like people might not have that name recognition for you, right? Again, with like maybe PJCS, you finish 64th in PJCS this year and qualify. You might not have that name recognition. So it's like how if it is a choose your own team, like that's going to be challenging. Like I don't know why, like if I'm being completely honest, why anyone thought this was a good idea. Like there's so many like logistical issues and reasons it just doesn't make any sense.
If I can be so real, it's like when this announcement came out, because I was already like, I was waiting for the season announcement because I was like, I kind of want to make a bit of a Worlds run. The announcement came out, I was like, I actually don't know if I want to go for it now because it's like, oh, I'm gonna be jumping into like I was happy enough to go to Worlds, like I'll run some RPS team and just have a good time, like I'll get out whatever. But if I now have to like perform for two other people, and if I fail, I'm hurting two other people, that sucks. I actually don't want to do that. It's not why I've chosen this game. If I wanted to do that, I'd play Unite hardcore. But like, I have not chosen a team game. I've chosen a single player game that affects me and me alone. That's the game I want to play. I don't like. In grassroots, right, factions exist and lots of people enjoy factions, and maybe that's a part of where this has come from, right? Because people really enjoy a team-based format, but they're players that have chosen a team-based format, and not only that, they're supplementing their single-player experience with this team-based format that is like a bit of novelty, right? It's something different. If you polled every factions player, do you want Worlds to be teams or not? I would guess that almost all of them would prefer not. But I don't know, man. It kind of sucks.
Well, and then there's other aspects, like, again, we don't know, like, is it just going to be, like, because I've seen people speculating in terms of, like, what's the World's meta going to be? Like, is it going to just be 3 people with their regular Open Great League teams? Or is it going to be, like, a team draft where you have to have, like, no shared Pokemon between the teams? I've seen some people saying, what if it's Great League, Ultra League, and Master League? And it's, like, a lot of, like, I mean, I don't think that would work because, again, everyone's qualifying in Great League. A lot of people don't have Pokemon for the other leagues. But even, like, if it's a team draft, which I think is an interesting concept in general, that makes it challenging in terms of coordinating and planning with your team. And some people might not have certain Pokemon, and it makes it challenging in that regard as well. So, like, I just don't know how, like, something like that's even going to work.
Yeah, I will say this, right? I'm not maybe in the same like doomer mindset as most in this, because I know some people are like, oh my gosh, this is like so bad and stuff. Now, granted, we don't have all the details, so I don't think it's reason to panic just quite yet. Also, I will put it this way, right? I think your odds of winning Worlds, no matter who you are, is a lot higher if there's a team format versus one person, because you have reduced the competition by a third, right? Like, there's no way, right? Like if you imagine you tell every Unite player, it's like, would you rather play as a team of 5 or play as solo and try to win Worlds? They'll be like, oh, team of 5, easy, right? Because there's just way less competition because you're just facing less teams in general, right? Now, granted, maybe not every team's built evenly. I would find it absolutely wild if they just randomize it into a random team of 3 when you show up at Worlds, right? Like, I think it's going to be something pre-planned. You sign up ahead of time. And honestly, like, if, let's say, like, it's, like, me, Kaz, and Steve, right? Or a team of 3. And let's say I flake out last second, like, hi, guys, I don't really feel like going stuff. The other 2 are kind of shot out of luck, right? Honestly, like, that's probably how it is. But what do you think happens for any team game? That happens at Unite too, right? If you don't show, I mean, yeah, they have like one sub and stuff, but like,
but again, Caleb, like to Steve's point, like this is people have qualified all season, presumably as individuals.
Oh no.
So, like,
I don't disagree with this point, right? But like let me put it this way, right?
But
like it's at least like ahead of time. But I do think it's really freaking weird. I think it's really weird that the whole season you're playing individual and then just Worlds it's trio, right? That is really strange. Yeah,
it'd be
really
different
strange.
if they said that you could do like a team for sort of play like throughout the season, because then you're opting into that.
Yes.
But saying that like you've done all this work to qualify and now like here's your team like that you're going to be with that Worlds. It's just I don't like hate the idea because I am a person who enjoys the team format. So I think that there is an interest in that, but at the same time, like it's just so like logistically deeply awkward to,
I think
100%.
to make work.
100%.
I mean,
I don't
Caleb,
disagree with that at all. Yeah,
Caleb, I will say on your point with like, oh, Unite's a team game too. I think part of the difference is Unite, you're qualifying as a team, and so you have more vested interest in that team succeeding. So you have more of a reason to show up.
Actually, that wasn't the case, Tristan. Yeah. Well, I know Steve probably knows because he's playing the circuit. But like it used to be, you get championship points per player, not per team. And so like sometimes where someone drops a player, they could only pick up a player that has already a lot of championship points, because otherwise if they pick up someone that doesn't, they might not qualify for Worlds still because collectively they don't have the championship points because this one person doesn't have, right? They changed it in like the recent year or 2, right? If I'm not mistaken, Steve. But before it used to be, which like also made no sense in their circuit because they compete as a team. But like, let's say like the 4 of us are on a team for Unite, and then next month I can't make it, you 3 do, right? And you all do well. I'm now like the weak link, and you have a potential reason to drop me for someone that got points that month because we might not qualify for Worlds because I actually don't have enough points, right? So, but again, that's not to say that system made sense too, right? It doesn't, and I don't disagree with. yeah, they changed for a reason.
Right,
I don't.
Right, but my point is just that like if you qualify as a team, like you have a little more vested interest in going and competing as a team. But if it's just 3 individuals, you have a little less incentive. And like if something minorly inconvenient comes up, you might be more inclined to just be like, I'll just miss Worlds this year. And then you let other people down. Like
there's a lot that goes into this, because I think also people that have more social capital are going to do better if you can pick your teammates, because you just know more people, you're more connected with more people, right? Like if you're like, I don't know how connected someone in South Africa is, but let's say the person from South Africa qualifies and no one knows who this person is, right? Be like, who the freak is PvP Josh, right? Like I ain't going to team up with PvP Josh, right? Or you don't even know this person qualified, like how are you going to find them, right? Like you have to like, there's a lot of logistical nightmares related to this, right? That if my guess, right, and this is not like it hasn't even come to this point yet, but my guess is if you put that logistical nightmare on the players, or a lot of it on the players, you're gonna be met with a lot of backlash, right? There's already a lot of backlash, right? But
then you literally won't have a World Championships for Go, because a lot of players
will, but it'll be smaller. No. It might be the smallest Worlds. Yeah, we've had.
Is that like the best play? Like if you just look at the best players, they'll be fine. Like, I mean, they'll probably be fine. Like, there's always a chance that, like, say that Padaman goes into Worlds 2027 as the best player in the world, undisputed. Like, say he has a cracker of a season again. And then he pairs up with, I don't know, Ilum and Axon. And Axon has, like, I mean, he said before, like, NAIC is his most inconsistent performance, where, like, he either, crushes or he doesn't do that well. Say
he did well this year, though, right?
He did well this year. But, like, I think the year before maybe he
had, like, one bad year at NAIC. Oh, no, he had 2 bad years.
I think he had 2. Yeah. So he sort of said that going into 26. Anyway.
I mean, he won 2. He didn't do great in 2, and then he top cut. 2, like, his standards are a little bit too outrageous. But okay, Point
he has
noted.
A bad run.
Yeah.
And that's the reason that Patoman like does badly at Worlds, is because Axon, who's usually a good player, has a bad run. Nothing to do with Patoman. Patoman should be the best. Like, he is the best. He should be the world champion. Too bad. Axon sucks.
Yeah.
You're
I
out.
mean, I don't like, honestly, like at the end of the day, right? This might be like more so because I came from like a sports background, right? Growing up and everything. And I don't know. I don't want to speak for all the Pokemon players. Maybe a lot of Pokemon players did or didn't. But like, I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with the whole team thing, right? I think just planning it
No.
and the fact that like it's just different is like probably a sore point. But like, I think the logistical aspect of it is tough for sure, right? But like, people enjoy grassroots team formats for a reason, right? And it makes you like,
I mean,
it
I
makes you like
think-
overperform.
I
I feel
think-
like, you know.
But again, I feel like it has to be an opt-in, opt-out sort of experience. So if you want to bring that team experience to Worlds, I don't fault you for that. I do think, again, that it's a cool idea, but I do think you have to provide the opportunity to opt into it at the beginning of the season so that you can work together as a team for the season.
I mean,
As-
so
But
I
in
think
a way, you could kind of do that solo, right? Like, let's say if like us three, us four, whatever as team, let's just say team four, right? We can every week we can help each other scrim, prep for the regional and stuff like that. Like, whether we perform collectively as a group of four well at a regional, or individually the four of us perform well, right? Like, I think like that could still go similar ways, right? And like, let's say one of us underperforms. Let's say I underperform. I don't even make it to Worlds. Well, then you at least you're like, no, like, well, this person wasn't going to carry us at Worlds anyway. So, you know, like, I think a lot of it's just like people are not used to this concept. And I don't blame people because they're like, oh, I feel like I'm forced into it. True. But I feel like at the same time too, like, as cool as I think the limited metas are for ICs, I don't think I'll ever compete in IC against it. I just don't feel like putting that much work into a very one-time limited meta for one tournament, right? That I might just go 0-2 and 1-2 in, right? I don't love that, but I think at the same time, like, it's cool for the circuit, and I think a lot of people enjoy it, so I think it's keep around. But like, it's not, I can't just say like, I want to opt out of this limited meta for IC. I just want to go to NAIC and just run Open Great League Pokemon, right? Like, unfortunately, like, that's not something in our realm of control. And for what it's worth, and again, I'm not saying this is going to be the best idea ever, right? But I do think that experimenting and changing up the circuit a bit is not a terrible thing, right? It's not a bad thing. This is a pretty crazy change, though. I will say this. It's pretty like jump from like A to Z kind of change. But
it's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone here is saying that it's a bad idea. I just think
some
that
people
there
online
are...
think it's a bad idea. Yeah.
I think it's a
no,
bad
no.
idea.
Well, Tristan thinks it's a bad idea. Yeah.
Tristan
So,
thinks it's
well,
a
I
bad
get that
idea.
a lot of you think it's a bad
Okay.
idea, but yeah.
But like, I don't think it's a bad idea either. I definitely think that, as we were just talking about with Unite, like, I think that keeping the longevity of this game in mind, like, by making these shifts is a good thing inherently. But like, I think that right now there's too little information, and
Sure.
and again, we've talked about this before. Like, the transparency is a really big problem, and with something like this, where you're literally telling people that, like, hey, for next year's Worlds, you're going to be also relying on other people, like, and have no idea like how that's going to work. Oh yeah, that's going to drive people insane.
It is.
Well,
Yeah.
I think if you really want to do team stuff, I think it would have made the most sense to make a separate team circuit where you have some sort of online, similar to Unite, online qualifiers, and then have a team-based format at Worlds.
Yeah, but
If
then
that's
you can't
what you
play.
wanted to
You can't
do.
play both, though, right?
Well, maybe if you did like team thing on like a Thursday or something, or
Yeah,
made Worlds.
they're not gonna. Yeah, but the Pokemon company's not gonna do a whole separate day just for Go, right? For a team format. I don't know. I think it's. I get what you're saying. I think that is way harder for them to pull off. Is my guess, right? Knowing kind of how like production works and like the schedule and everything. It's like you're gonna take out. You're gonna have to hire all the judges for that day too. Like, there's a lot of stuff. Like, also
I bet
just
it
the
will
book.
be harder, but that's the problem they gave themselves logistically.
Well, that's why they cut it out and they just said just team format only, right? At Worlds is kind of how they address the logistical problem. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying like that wouldn't be a cool thing, but I just don't think. And also, like, what are we gonna do? Be like, oh yeah, here's the Pokemon Go World Champion, Elam, Axon, and Emi Weedle. oh, and the other world champion is Beelzebub in the singles for, I don't know. It's just like weird, right? It's like, it's not like track and field for the Olympics, right? It's like
I
we
mean, to
don't
be
have
fair
like
on that
one world
one,
champion.
you do have like masters, seniors, juniors in the other games, so they do have that in a way.
Yes, but the same player can't win both, right? That's like separate. But anyway,
yeah.
all that's to say is, I will say two things though. One, this is, as much as people dislike it, it is really good for the growth of the esport of the game, in the sense that you can potentially, might be hard still, teams of 3, but potentially get like a tier 1 esports org to sponsor players. Like you can have like a Team Liquid, right? A FlyQuest, a T1 or something, right?
Sponsoring players just for Worlds though, because it's not the rest of the season. It's just Worlds.
It's cheaper.
Yeah.
I know, but it's cheaper for them to do that, right? They only have to sponsor one of your trips, maybe one of your trips, or maybe they have a whole collective group of players and they have multiple teams, like a Team Liquid 1, Team Liquid 2, whatever, all that stuff, right? Because those teams, they do this for a chance to say they have a world champion team, right? Or a high performing team. They don't do it just to spend money on people, right? Because then they could get more sponsorships, more ads, all that stuff, right? Again, I don't know if they go for that or not. I know some TCG players have been sponsored from some esports orgs in the past. Mostly like disguised toast esports team, but still, or Dignitas, who I think has sponsored some too. Anyway, it's much easier for them to sponsor those kind of things, right? Because there's a higher chance of them actually like their money come to fruition. Like currently, like there's no big esports org that invests in Pokemon Go players anymore, right? Outside of maybe Luminosity for Nighttime Clasher, that's about it. And like that org is like super sketch anyway. They're still like behind payments. I don't even know what's going on with that org, right? But
isn't there? Well, yeah. Besides like 7-Eleven and Tuesday,
I think 7-Eleven kind of like dropped off or isn't funding as much. 7-Eleven is also not a tier 1 esports org, to my knowledge. They do a lot of mobile gaming, but not, at least not in the big esports space. And Tuesday is not a tier 1 org either. But so there aren't any, right? There really aren't any for Go, which understandably so. Like, what's the point of sponsoring a player when like the odds of them winning worlds is like 1 in like 300, maybe less, right? You know, like 1 in 100, maybe. Anyway, that's a whole separate thing. Most players probably could care less, but for me, I care about the growth of the game. So I think that is important for an esports perspective. I do think that team draft would be the most interesting if they do a format. When team draft, for those I don't know, is everyone within your team can have overlapping Pokemon. So let's say I'm against Team Steve and it's my team. Well, I can have a Bastion on my team. He can have Bastion on his team. But none of our teammates can have Bastion, right? Because it has to be split among this. So that means you have 15 unique Pokemon spread across 3 people. Or no, 18. Not 15, 18. Sorry, my bad. 18, right? Unless you got 3 LJ going on. But 18, right? But, so it makes it a lot more interesting because you don't see like meta matchups back and forth. Like, because you can have all 3 people run the same matchups, right? Like, I know Pocket and Nighttime Clasher and Sustenance or whatever, they're really close, right? They build a lot of the same teams. Imagine if you face that team and they're all running the same exact team. Like, I mean, in a way, you'd be like, okay, well, I saw my teammate core break him with this, so maybe I can core break him too, right? But like, it's way less entertaining. Here's a big logistical nightmare, though, right? So I would assume it's team of 3, forced to win 2 series wins. Who's playing the 3rd series out? No, right? You don't play 3 games on the broadcast if you win the first 2, right? Or your opponent wins the first 2. You don't play 2. There's no point in running this exhibition 3rd best of 3 series, right? Which means that, okay, I don't know if it's going to be Swiss or not, right? If it's Swiss, maybe that's a little bit better. But if it's double elim, you know how people complain about like going 0-2 and being out of the tournament? Some people's teams might go 0-2 and one of their players don't play a single game, right? Because their 2 teammates are 2-0'd already or 2-1'd, and you don't get to play. Like, that is really weird. Imagine prepping all like you don't get to.
Okay, so that's a
Caleb, you just added a whole other problem.
Well, I know. I mean, I'm sure to think of all the problems.
But here's the question, though.
Yeah.
Do you guys think it would be better to be best 2 out of 3 matches, or is it better to be best 5 out of 9 games?
5
out of 9 is even worse, I think. 5 out of 9. No. Here's why, right? Here's why. Imagine if I go first, I get 3-0'd. Steve is my my other teammate. He gets 2-0'd right off the bat. He doesn't even play his 3rd match. Our 3rd player still don't play a game, and Steve only plays 2, and I just got 3-0'd, right? I think, like, I thought about the numbers, like, because it is, like, at the end, they, like, okay, it would be cool if, like, let's say, like, I got 3-0'd, Steve 3-0's, whoever goes 2-0 first or wins 2 in the next one could be cool. okay, but it's about the same excitement as I getting 2-1 and Steve getting 2-1, or I get 2-0 and Steve gets 2-0, and then the next person has to win anyway, right? Like, it doesn't really change the amount of like excitement that could bring. So I don't think like, obviously 3-0ing someone is like going to provide way more value, right? And you can see even more like skill expression or dominance and stuff. But I think it leads to even less, potentially even less gameplay from some players, right?
Okay. If I can jump one problem back, because as you were talking about the draft thing, I agreed. I was
I'll
like,
let you drop multiple problems back, but yeah, let's start with one.
Here's a new one. I was like, okay, I agree that draft would be cool. Then I thought about it for an extra 5 seconds, and I was like, wait, this adds insano problems if you get to that scenario where someone drops out last minute, or you sort of have to form a team at the last minute, like you don't know people, and so you have to get assigned a team at the very end.
I think you have to have a registration date. You know how like you register for Worlds, right? Like you like they send an email for all the competitors. They have to register by a certain date. I think you have to register. Yeah, and if one of your teammates just doesn't show up, that's your shout out luck for your team.
I know multiple people that have registered anyway just to get the kit. And say you're someone that like you haven't formed a team,
but I hope you don't try to team up with them though, right?
Say you haven't formed a team. Like you've been like, I actually don't care. I'm just signing up so I can get the kit. I'm happy to be like, I assume there's going to be some level of TPCI will assign you a team if you don't have one, right? Because you can't be forced as a player that has not had to have a team all season to find 2 people. You just might.
But for Unite Worlds, isn't Unite like if you don't have a team, then you're just like you just can't play, right?
Yeah, but like that's from the beginning. Like you've qualified for Worlds, right? And you don't know people, so you can't make a team.
Well,
say you're me. No one wants to team up with me for whatever reason, right? It's like,
well, Steve, let me add something to that too. Like, let's say I think Thailand got 4 invites.
Yep.
So let's say all 4 of them go,
right,
and 3 of them team up. The 4th one is alone. Or if only 2 of them show up and the other 2 can't go.
Yeah, find someone.
Like
that's what I'm saying. Like TPCI has to facilitate a lot of this stuff to make it easier if it's choosing a team.
Yeah. So assuming that TPCI does have some sort of facilitation of that, right? They put you in a team. Say they put you with this guy that showed up just to get the Worlds kit. And the way that people do this is they send someone with an ID that like they kind of look like the ID and they get the kit. Happens a lot with Asian players because, well,
you know, I have heard this too. Actually, now that I think about it, I've heard
it happens a lot with Asian players. Yeah. I saw it a lot at NAIC.
NAIC just for the competitor kit, like what?
Yeah, just because it's like, well, hey, like I'll take it and like you,
dude. Okay, honestly. It's bad, right? It's I don't know what the best way to address that is. But like, I think we're in a day and age where people are scared of being like potentially like, I don't want to be racist, but you don't really look like that other Asian guy, right? But I don't want to say you're not the Asian guy, right?
That's why they get away with it. It's crazy. It's like I'm looking at these 2 and it's like these people do not look similar.
I hate that people do that though. Like it's like obviously I get it because some people legitimately cannot travel, also, but like still like I just.
What about people like oh my god, Shira and who was the other
Pyro Panda?
The Pyro Panda.
That tied, yeah.
So yeah, that tied. It's like they almost didn't even know like if they were both going to qualify or only.
Well, they found out like shortly after. Like Heather found out pretty quickly. Yeah.
But like, what if you've been expected to like formulate your team already? You know, like,
well, to be fair, they told Heather pretty quickly that she was qualified before like it was like only like a few weeks after, right?
I know, but I'm still saying,
yeah, like, that is also like a much smaller problem because it's only like maybe like a small handful of players in the world, like maybe less than 5 that will.
We're listing problems, that. Caleb.
Oh, true. It is a problem. It is a problem. I think if. You know,
wait, Steve didn't finish his problem with the team draft part.
Okay, yeah, team draft part.
We got sidetracked.
Right. So, like, say you're in one of these scenarios where you've got a last minute change up for some reason, or like you don't know the other player. Like, say you are getting forced into a team of 3, and you're the Bastiodon guy. You love Bastiodon. You want to run Bastiodon all day till Sunday. But
language.
They've assigned me and Caleb to the same team because neither of us had teams, and we both really want to run Bastiodon.
And Will D.
What do you do? Like, you just have to like social it out with people you don't know. Someone's going to be salty at Worlds because they didn't get to play the team they wanted to play. You've got to manufacture a team sort of that you might not know. Maybe you get assigned someone that like doesn't really want to talk to you. and you want to figure out your team so you can scrim and practice, and they're just like, nah, I'm still thinking about it. I need to figure out. Like, you've got no power over that. I don't know.
Or
It just
what if
feels like-
what if like me and Steve had some like I don't know like bad interactions or beef in the past and we
Oh,
get
yeah.
assigned to a team together?
Yeah, it's like, what can you do? Like, I can apply to like change out, but then someone else is going to get changed out and they've already been like preparing and whatnot. I just feel like
Yeah.
there are so many issues that are going to hit every player that isn't like, you know, at the top of the pack, which maybe TPCI doesn't care. Maybe they're like, well, you know, the best players have still got a pretty good chance of winning. So maybe that's fine. Like, I don't know. But it just feels a little bit like there's going to be so many players. I think the bottom line, and what I keep coming back to in my head, is that this is going to cause more suffering than not doing this. And I'm going to be brave on this podcast. I'm against suffering. I know. You don't have to call me a hero. But I just think that it's going to cause unnecessary pain. And even in parts where it's like people, they want to be on a team with each other and they get cut out. They're like, you know, actually, sorry, man, I'm going to go. Like Ash and Ash is like, sorry, Steve, I actually want to win this thing. I'm going to go pair up with, you know, two guys that actually know what they're doing. And I'm sitting there crying. I'm like, oh, man, that sucks.
Well, it's also awkward. What if you have a friend group of 4 people?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's just all of these little things.
Three of those people stick together and the 4th person just has to fend for themselves. Like, that's not fun either.
I mean, think about how like Battle Frontiers teams already exist with like 7 players actively. So like,
Mhm.
what? and they can't all be together, you know? Or it's just like you're just asking for a lot of logistical and social.
Okay,
problems.
here's a question for you guys.
Uh-huh.
How would you feel if the teams were, say, 4 or 5 players, such that you had substitutes so that some of the no-show issues are not there, and maybe you could swap people in and out during
Substitutes
each
are
round?
weird. I know United has substitutes, right? Substitutes for
Well,
this is
yeah,
kind
that's
of
why I
weird
was asking.
because you'll play solo all year round to maybe not even play in a team format at Worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Unite, I get more because they
there's
also
like
have
multiple-
substitute.
Yeah,
And
but they have
it's
like 5 players and have 1 sub, you know?
Yeah, but it's like if you've played individually all season and then you're the substitute and then you end up not playing because the other 3
You might
guys
win
are
Worlds
playing.
because of it.
Yeah,
Yo,
like, what the heck,
you know
man? That's
how many
insane.
people are going to try to maybe like I don't want people to do this, but like some people might legitimately like bribe like the Potterman team
Yeah.
to be their sub because they're like, well, ain't no way Potterman and you know like this is Potterman Axe and Nighttime going right. Ain't no way these 3 guys aren't going to make it to Worlds. I got a free ride at a potential free world champion right trophy right. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, well, I mean, for Unite, I saw this YouTube video of a guy that like you know didn't really play all season, and then he the title was like how I technically qualified for Worlds, and it's like yeah, he was just a substitute on a team after not playing all season or whatever. And so I was hoping to try.
Did
and
you
run
make
the
that
same
video?
tip. I wish.
That
that's
sounds
it.
like a
Like,
Steve
I wanna
video
do that.
title.
Yeah, you're like I need to find the next Aussie team I could hop on. I'm going
How I
live plan next year.
accidentally qualified for
Yeah.
Worlds.
Yeah.
I was legitimately
I'll
looking at
for
it
Worlds
for
without playing any games.
I wanted to do it in the 2025 season, but then I qualified in Go anyway. So I was like, oh, okay, never mind. And then I didn't think of it again this season, and I guess I can't do it next season. So GG's on that
We'll
one.
see you in Japan. Well, no, you can do it for Go next season though.
That's true.
Work up some of that magic
That's
with your
true.
BFF Ash and Ash, you know.
Hey,
And
guys,
you're
you
like,
need to sub-
Ash, Ash, you don't even put it on the main roster, but you got the homie on the sub roster, right?
Dude, I got that bench warm,
'Cause
man.
if he says you're not even good enough to be a bench warmer, then you know, be like, oh, he dropping those goat gifs for nothing, you know.
You know I shouldn't be on that bench. I should be on the bench of a much lower team. But
I think like all like obviously logistical nightmares and all that stuff, but once even if you sort that out, I think format wise, it is really weird still that teams of 3 and you might not see the 3rd match play out in a lot of situations. And that player might not play. And it's just like weird. Like who even decides to order it? You just randomize the order. Like, oh, first up we got, you know, this time around it's Steve first. Next time around it's Kaz first. You know, like I don't even know how they ordered this, right? And it'd be fine. If you can have all 3 pairs play at the same time, that'd be cool to avoid it. But ain't no way we're gonna have 3 battles going on. Like, no way 2 commentators will commentate 3 separate matches at the same time. I'm like, oh, C made a catch, but Kaz just smacked it down the bird with the basket out. Like, what? Like, there's way too much, right?
I wouldn't be surprised if, which I don't like because it would be a different experience, but I wouldn't be surprised if on the floor, on the tables, they ran concurrently just for tournament pacing purposes, but stream was one at a time.
Yes, and if that's something they consider, here's the biggest issue with that. Imagine if, let's say it's me, Steve, and Kaz as a team, they're playing on the floor and I'm playing on the broadcast. I win my broadcast match. I'm not feeling good about it. They lose.
No.
Teams of 3.
I'm saying if you, Steve, and Kaz are on stream, you go, then Kaz goes, then Steve goes.
Yes.
But if you, Kaz, and stream are playing your matches on the floor, you might be going all at the same time.
Okay.
Oh, sure. On the floor is fine.
They won't do it because I think that a real part of it, and this happens in team formats, like in Unite, there's going to be an opportunity to sort of strategize about your team, I guess, like about what
I think for the broadcast schedule, they can't be doing what people would be doing for Battle Frontier and sitting there for 5-minute lock-in times, all this stuff. I don't know. Also logistically, I don't think they're going to have headsets for all the players being talking stuff and
they
sitting
have
side by side.
They have the stuff. They just use it for Unite. They're not using it for Unite anymore.
But
RIP Unite, but yeah, they're not using it.
But Unite games are much longer in general by nature, right? We have a 90-second lock-in time, right?
Wait, what's
one
your
of the
point?
many reasons that this isn't that great?
But
that doesn't change anything.
Okay.
That time.
Okay, yes. I guess from my own personal perspective, I hate that aspect about team formats. I wish we would just play by themselves and they weren't piloted, right? Imagine well, because it's really awkward if their comms are open during the game too, right? Imagine sitting there and you see one person tapping, other people counting, oh, do this, do this. It just looks really weird, It's imagine you have obviously it's a different thing, but imagine it's competitive basketball and you see LeBron James about to go for a dunk and someone's whispering in his ear, be like, oh, throw me the alley-oop 2 next, or what? It's just I don't know. It kind of ruins the spirit of. Because it's not you're not playing as a team, you're playing 1v1 still, right?
Yeah.
But that aside too, again, that still doesn't change the fact that you could still just have 2 matches and the third player doesn't play anything.
Yeah,
right?
Correct.
So the only way you could resolve that is all 3 players playing at the same exact time. And I think on the floors, that's totally reasonable, right? That you could do that. But on the broadcast, you can't. You really can't.
Right, but theoretically, if you get to the broadcast, I get it's not ideal, but most people that get to broadcast will have done well enough that they'll have at least played once or twice already at Worlds before they get to the broadcast.
Yeah. So I think it's more so just from a broadcast experience. It's weird, right? Imagine watching your favorite player at Worlds and you see them sitting there in the corner and not even playing because their 2 teammates got 2-0'd or 2-1. It's
true,
just
but is it any different than soccer going to a penalty shootout and it doesn't make it to the star player whose penalties supposed to be last because they're the best under pressure, but everyone else choked before that.
But but they had plenty of time to showcase their talents on the field prior, right?
True.
That's imagine if it's a 4v4. Let's say it's not going to be, but let's say it's a 4v4 format. It's tied. Then you have a sudden death match, right? You pick one player for it, that. That's kind of a general equivalence. But I don't know. Yeah. I think it's part of it's the fun part is especially if you're spectating at home, you're watching the bracket and be like, oh my gosh, Potamon's about to go into the grand finals, right? And then you're and you see him there, and then his 2 teammates lose right off the bat. He doesn't even get to play. What was the point of even showing up on Championship Sunday at that point? I don't know. I think that is in my mind, assuming all the other things resolved from a broadcast and from a competitive standpoint, that is the weirdest thing that they have to do.
I agree. That's a big issue because it's it just sucks to not be able to play.
Get this though. Hold up now.
Holding.
We got a year. Right? I just said we got a year. Maybe they've known for more than a year. And I know the interlude season's taken a while, right? That in itself has taken almost a year, right? We're approaching 9 months on that, right? But what if they introduce 3v3 into the actual game?
How?
That would be
How?
I don't know. How is our general question to everything here, right? So this is something for them to figure out. But like, imagine, well, what if you're like, it's like VG where you could choose which Pokemon to direct your attack to, right? Like, you could say like, hey, let's everyone go for, this Toucannon on Steve's team, right? But while you're all attacking that, then, everyone else is, fighting their other stuff. I don't know. There's just like, I don't know. There's like, who knows, right? But that would be legitimately, from a competitive standpoint, the thing that would, one, work with the broadcast, and two, ensure that everyone could play, right? Unfortunately, because the game itself is a 1v1 format, and because it's being broadcasted, it's just never going to look that good. Like, we've all been there in like Battle Frontier or Factions, whatever, or team formats, or not all of us, but many of us have, where like the series is over before the last few people go, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, when I did Go Team Up Worlds with teams of 4, the series is over when half of our players went. Just me and Erva went, and that was it. Because we had enough points that we just stomped them so hard that the last two matches didn't matter if we went 0-5 in both of them, because they're sets of 5 actually, which is kind of crazy.
But you know what the difference is?
But the difference is
playing together all season.
there's that, and also it's not an official broadcast, and like and because it was pre-recorded, so they skewed the matchup, so they showed like the worst matchups first to make it seem like it was close, but it was already over, right? Like on official broadcast when it's happening live, I don't know. It is. Anyway, team formats.
Wait, what if it wasn't happening live and they recorded it and streamed the recordings?
Next year, World's going to be in Antarctica, and I'll put it on a green screen if I'm casting. I'm like, yeah, how you feel, Butters, right?
Just you and the deli birds.
yeah. Okay, so I think generally from a team building perspective, team draft makes the most sense. I think that makes the most sense.
What if it's 3 people though? What if it was the 3 IC metas and each person played a different IC meta?
I mean, the meta's changed, right? Like
the meta's changed a lot, and also not everyone plays. I don't know. I actually, as much as I'd like the IC metas, they go by so fast, man. Like we have so little variance to the game already. Like, again, in going to 5 games, Torian versus High Rhino, it took 16 minutes. That's insane. That's how fast our games are, right? Limited formats speed that up even more. I'm not saying the limited formats were not good metas, but like, dude, in a blink of the eye, the game's over, right? And
they also locked in quick, and like
they did, yeah.
But like, Tristan, there are already just so many like logistical problems without considering team building, like the Pokemon themselves at all. Like, I think that honestly, they gotta handle like one thing at a time.
Just general Open Great League
have to come first.
Without a species clause between your teammates is like still more than fine, right? Like, I think like their biggest issue is not what the actual meta is, right? It's more so the logistics behind this, and even more importantly, like, I don't know. There's a lot of things.
Listen. We've talked about this for a long time. So like, if everyone could just have one thing that they could suggest in this moment.
Back to 1v1.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Okay. Mine would be like, if you're dead set on doing the team competition, like I stand by what I said. I think it has to be like an opt-in system. That's it.
What do you mean opt-in?
Opt-in makes no sense, because you're choosing opt-in if you choose to compete next year to qualify for Worlds.
I think they have to like create a semblance of team composition for the season as a whole.
I think we're too. It's too late for that though. It's a little too late, because like they have to have something ready before the first regional.
Wait, Kaz, so you're saying you think you should compete in teams all year long?
I think you should not necessarily compete in teams all year long, but I think you should already like be able to opt into whoever your team is going to be.
Just like, if you all don't qualify for Worlds, you just all don't qualify. Okay, so I think here's one of the issues that especially comes to Pokemon Unite, which is why most of qualifiers are online outside the ICs. It's because cost of travel is really prohibitive for one person, but with 3 people, it's even hard to coordinate, because like between all of us, we might not all be able to travel to the same amount, right? Like, I ain't going to South Africa with Steve, right? But if he's on my team, who's he gonna go with, right? Right? But like that is traveling as a team without like actual sponsors is much harder.
The reason that I highlight that as the one thing I would say to focus on is because like, if you don't, then like the 2 other options are just as bad. Like, randomized teammates.
Randomized, I don't
bad.
think it's great. Yeah.
Like
choosing teammates is like
people choosing their teammates also creates a huge disadvantage.
Yeah.
It's like a 50-50 disadvantage for a lot of players.
Not to say your idea can never happen, but I will say one other disadvantage to your idea is that you can pay to have really good teammates. So, for example, right, and this is not like a knock on Nighttime, but Nighttime could go to a lot of tournaments. He seems like there's no limit to where he goes because, I mean, having Luminosity sponsor him and all this other stuff, like, it allows him to, right? Which means that he could theoretically, like, let's say if he wants to team with a Potterman, can travel to every single tournament Potterman goes to, even if Potterman's only competing in Europe. He can make that trip, and he could build this super team with Potterman that, like, maybe, let's say, again, I don't know, like, financial circumstances of these players, but let's say, Caspian Pike, right, local mine, he's a really good player, right? He probably was not able to do that, right? Whether he knows Potterman closely or not, he might not be able to go to Europe every month to go to a tournament to compete with Potterman to qualify for Worlds with him, right, as a team.
Well, even beyond that, like, I'm just thinking, like, Caleb, you and I are in a team, right?
Yeah.
And we have a bunch of teammates.
Yeah.
And
We don't go to
between
the same
all our
events,
between all our teammates, like, everyone, like, goes to a decent number, like maybe 2 to 4 events in a season.
Yeah.
But they're not all the same events because there's some people that are going to Portland and some people that are going to Toronto and some people are going to Orlando, but it's not all the same.
But there's just no other way. Like, and I'm not saying that, like, you have to necessarily rely on each other, like, for the whole season. Maybe it's just part of it. Like, I don't know. Again, the logistics are a nightmare, but I just don't know how else you can possibly make it fair. Because right now, what they're essentially doing is saying, like, everyone's competing as individuals for the whole season, and now we're just throwing you all together in a big pot, and you're gonna get, like, you're gonna get forced to do team battles for the world championships, which is the thing that you, like, you have worked for, and you don't even know if you're gonna be able to do your best because of who your teammates are, or where it is, or any, like, there are just so many.
So I have a question. What if there was, like, instead of, like, I think purely randomizing teams is a bad idea for sure.
Absolutely.
We've talked through the issues of picking teams. What if it was like they had some formulaic way to basically, like, almost rank the players, and they did it, like, numerically, so it was like say you have 100 teams.
No.
And so the top 100 players are spread out between teams, and then the next 100 players are spread out.
Tristan, peace and love. Great idea, terrible idea. One, with teams of 3, it's just not going to work. I have my final year major assessment in my degree was built this way. It was a group project, like teams of 6 or something, and it was sort of spread out so that you had, like, one good student, one okay student. Like, it sort of spread it out marks based. It sucks. So I can promise you. And all it's going to mean is that, like, Padoman is going... Actually, there's 2 problems. The first is that, say it works perfectly and you get all evenly distributed teams. Padoman's success is going to be dependent on whatever sucker he gets stuck with. Because the way that this group assessment went is it depended on how bad your bad students were. Because they had all of the power to drag you down if your bad students were a little bit worse than your, a different team's bad students. The other bit is that you've got players that only show up to one tournament at the end. S. James P is a perfect example where he does not have that many championship points because he played, like, tournaments at the end.
Yeah.
If he played as many tournaments as Nighttime Clasher, he'd have a lot more points, but he didn't. So he doesn't. And so then he's going to be in the bad player spot. And so maybe Padoman's bad player is S. James. And so it's like, oh, that doesn't seem very fair. So there's no objective way to actually measure skill in a way that is perfectly fair across the board, that isn't going to give some team an advantage, ignoring the fact that it then, like, unfairly hampers the best players because of what not best players they get stuck with. Is just the reality.
I mean, that's the reality of a team format in general, right? The best
We didn't want to do a team format.
I know we didn't, but here we are.
But, like, I think that you just have to be able to choose teams. And unfortunately, that's going to suck for a lot of people. It's going to mean that we're less likely to see a Psy Rhino coming up and winning an AIC because chances are the best in the world have all paired up with the.
Yeah,
Hey, man,
realistically,
I'll take
So I'm
Cyrano on my team.
Okay, let me be
you
clear.
have to actually
Cyrano could be the
compete
number
at
one.
Worlds.
Cyrano could be the
Yeah.
best in the world, right? He could be number one. But if other people, like, or maybe, sorry, if you go into a tournament the most practiced, you are going to win this tournament if it was individual. And people don't know that. People aren't familiar with your game. Like, Beelzeboy going into Worlds 2024. He went on an insane run. I don't think that there were
I
many
was
people
familiar
that
with
knew
Beelzebub's
it.
Boy's game.
You're the one that were, I think you dissed on Butters picking Beelzeboy in the draft for 2025, I think.
Did I say
or
that?
Maybe it was 2024.
Mhm.
It might have been
Probably.
24, actually. I think it must have been 24 because one World's performance under his belt. Maybe it's 25. I don't know. You dissed on him. And I think it's
I'm familiar with this game now.
reasonable-ish.
Yeah,
Is-
you're right. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's like, Beelzeboy, obviously incredible, but maybe that's not the guy that people want to pair up.
Right. Well,
So-
not only that, but I think like Worlds this year where it's single player, right?
Yep.
Realistically, there's, I don't know, let's just say 100 people that could realistically win. When you go to teams, there might realistically only be 8 or 10 teams that are actually in real contention to win.
Mhm.
Because you're concentrating that top talent so much more. And so in a case where someone who's a little bit worse than someone else, like, is still good enough to maybe upset a Potaman. But the thing is, now you have to upset Potaman and his 2 superstar teammates. That's not really going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the thing with Pokemon Go is I would never like count out a team in general because you never know, right? Like, especially if you look at Battle Frontier, like some people, it's not like Potaman's team won last year, right? It's not like Nighttime's team won last year or Axon's team. It was like an Oceania or Aussie team, right? That won. I think like,
sort of APAC based. Like, a
yeah,
lot of
APAC,
Indians.
right? So like,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously team formats are like a little bit different. Maybe people don't take it as seriously and everything like that.
Yeah, but also, like, that's
They have
also
7 players.
that's also 7. This is 3. So 3 is like because think about it in terms of sports, right? Like like the difference between basketball with 5-on-5 versus like soccer or football that's 11-on-11, like those 5 players in basketball like make such a bigger difference because it's like smaller but it's not 1v1.
Yeah. Either way, I do not envy who has the job to handle all this stuff. Like, I think,
No.
like the only.
I don't envy the person who made this announcement.
Well, that's why they didn't put their name on it. But it's just on a website. But I think like what I will say this, right? General team draft I think makes sense for meta, but you could even open Great League. Like, I don't think that's the biggest concern that people have. Yeah, everything else that we mentioned are very big things to consider. And here's the thing, right? I know like maybe like it's not me to set the stat line, but I think for our players' benefits, for those looking to go to Worlds next year, the format hopefully is flushed out, or the logistics of it is flushed out and publicized before the first regional of the year.
Seriously.
Hopefully like right after Worlds ends or something, right? Because
Yeah.
people are already starting to plan their travels. And and some people
Right after Worlds ends is like it's like 2 weeks until the Baltimore regional.
and even that's
from
like
Worlds
cutting it
to
close,
Baltimore.
Yeah, like even that's cutting it close. But like I think at the end of the day, like like people are going to spend their money buying plane tickets, booking hotels or Airbnbs, and doing all their travel expenses for something that hopefully they know what they're signing themselves up for, right? And so again, I don't think like rushing the formats or logistics of it is good. But I think there is like a level of responsibility to try to get it out as soon as possible.
I absolutely
Before Worlds would be
agree.
even better. Before Worlds would be even better, right? Also, like,
I absolutely agree.
also, I don't know. Just like from the history of the game, it's going to be so weird, right? Because we're traditionally not a team game, and we're on 5 years of Worlds without it, right? Our 5th year Worlds. Imagine being like in the history books. I mean, this was like a small thing, but you're like, oh yeah, our first world champs was Emmy Weedle, not what do you call it, Dancing Rob, and then it's blah blah blah, all this stuff, and then we had team formats, and on the 6th year it was Team Chaos, who's on that team. It's like, well, there was this person, it's just like weird, right? Like, whereas like historically in sports, like yes, like certain players are like world champs or NBA champs, whoever, but like you always say like, oh, this was a team that dominated, right, or whatever. It was, you talk about the team, you don't talk about the players as much, right? Obviously the players are part of the conversation, but not as much. And but yeah.
Right, but then
let's see.
also you potentially like the other weird thing is either this is a failure and then we go back to single, and then that would be weird too because there's this one blip of a team winning, or
The gas leak.
depending how depending how teams are formed, it would be weird because like the teams could just be so different, right? Like it's one thing for sports where it's like, oh, the Lakers won and the Celtics won and then the Bulls won and then the Lakers won,
and then
whatever.
PvP Steve won.
But here it would just be like the teams could just be so different year to year, and then wouldn't even have team names necessarily. It would just be 3 players.
I mean,
Like,
that's how
don't
Unite
know.
works, to be fair, and lots of team formats. Like the players change heaps.
Yeah.
Right, but also I don't know if like Unite at least has team names. Like I don't know, are we
Right.
even going to have team names, or is it just going to be 3 player names? Like
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Again, I mean, that's kind of the fun of like doing the team thing too, right? It's like following the team. Like you can highlight individual players, but like there's something to be said for kind of like following a mascot, following the group and being able to like highlight the players you like and like feel like you can cheer on all the members together. Like
Yeah. One final thing I will say too is, something I was talking about how I'm a little worried about, Go maybe phase out the circuit, especially after Unite being phased out, because they joined the same time we did, right? So it's not like they've been a part of it much longer. They've been part of it the same exact duration. I don't know, but I think this Worlds format 3v3 could cut down interest in participation.
Oh yeah,
And
for sure.
this could spell the doom, the start of the
I
decline.
mean,
of
it's
competitive Go.
it's already tempering Steve's interest.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
It is.
That's
And
like
he's just
that's
one
like
guy.
a quarter of the participants in South Africa alone that's gone because of this one decision.
and like an eighth of the Puerto Rican competitors.
Dude, this is
That's
so many
true.
regions being
That's
affected.
true. Hitting 2 separate regions at once. And he's not going to be playing in Oceania anymore either, too. So
Well,
Auckland,
I mean, I
maybe.
don't know.
no, he's going to try to set up a stream for Auckland. I'm sure of it.
I'd love to. We'll see.
In that tiny little venue.
Yeah.
It's a bit. It's
Is
big
it the
this
same
time.
venue?
No.
Oh, it's different.
It's like a community hall this time.
Yeah.
It's not.
Upgrades.
I mean, as excited as I am for some aspects of it, I think the logistical aspect of it and selling the idea to the majority of the player base is going to be very, very difficult.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not excited for any aspects.
I
of
will
it.
say this though. Last year, didn't they tease that we're going to have Swiss formats?
Yeah, they got to play it in South Africa once. That's
Maybe
it.
they'll get to play 3v3 in South Africa, and we'll call it a day. You never know.
No, but they said specifically worlds and nothing else.
Yeah. But I
Anyway,
yeah, but this is not like an NEIC limited meta like reveal. Like they need to talk about this logistically as soon as possible. You cannot like that's my only my personal urgency and like heat of warning to people planning this. Like you cannot drag this out throughout the year. You cannot reveal the details like after EUIC, even after LAIC is way too late. Like you need to I think you realistically need to drop this Worlds format and how it's going to go logistically like ASAP before September, ideally before Worlds, freaking next week if you have to, right? Do something. It's gonna be wild. It's gonna be wild.
or if you can't manage that, like say you're like, look, we're really trying to figure this out. We've got so much stuff to figure out. LAIC,
of course.
is
I know it's not an easy thing.
No. But like, say this is the scenario. At this point, just say, look, we try to make it work. We're gonna go back to 1v1 for this one. We're gonna try it again in 2028.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, if it's getting to the point that you just
But they need
can't-
to say that too soon. Yeah. Regardless if they go with that option or not, they need to say that.
because then Steve might start competing again.
Yeah, that's true.
Look, like chances are I'm going to compete anyway, but it is filling me with a lot of sadness at present.
Yeah.
It's like,
The moment they announce subs, though, he's like, "Oh, I'm going to every regional."
yeah,
I'm sure
anyway.
you're connected enough. Yeah. All right, we're gonna end it here for Steve and Cass. I think they had the dip. We got still
Yes.
T stuff to talk about because last week's New York, Times Square, thing.
Yeah,
Mine too.
y'all need to have fun
Dude,
gossiping without us.
Me and Tristan should have recorded that episode later because we just had to wait 2 hours and then we would have known what to talk about for another 2 hours.
It was like 2 hours till it started,
Yeah,
but then the stream was like 2 hours
No, I mean,
before.
we're already recording late that week, so that's why. But
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, we'll end it here and then we'll continue with me and Tristan. All right. We are back. And me and Tristan last week, we didn't really know what was going to happen, obviously, because neither of us were at New York. It seems like a lot of people that were going to New York Times Square weren't really aware of what was going to happen.
Yeah, and people at New York didn't even know what they were getting into either.
Yeah, they just knew it was some type of secret event. Cause I think I saw some creators post about how they're going to New York for some secret event. They just didn't even know, like, a lot of the secret they didn't know either. Okay, but it happened. For those that aren't aware of what even occurred, what do you call it? The New York Go Fest or New York surprise events right before Global Go Fest on last Thursday. Yeah, because we recorded last Thursday, right?
Yeah.
It was that Thursday afternoon. For us, it was Thursday evening for them. They brief rundown is they invited a number of creators, community ambassadors, and then from what I gather, community ambassadors were able to invite some people in their local community to come out to the event. It was a ticket event, so if you just show up to Times Square yourself without being invited or having an invite ticket, then you wouldn't be able to catch like this special Mewtwo. But it was like this countdown.
And there was a Mewtwo, but there was other stuff too. But yeah, my understanding is the bulk of the people there were actually players from like the local like New York, New Jersey areas.
Yeah.
Like yes, there were definitely content creators for sure.
But not every content creator for Pokemon was there.
Right. But there was definitely content creators, there was definitely community ambassadors, but the bulk of the players were local to the general area.
Yeah.
Which is something that I think got missed and like a lot of people didn't realize. So I just wanted to point that out. But yeah, so it started off and there was like a little event and there was like raids and spawns, and like on the screen it would show a year. So it started like 2016, 2017, 2018, etc. And it seemed like there was like spawns and raids that like of Pokemon and raid bosses that like came out in that year. And so I think that lasted for like an hour or two. And then after that was like the big like Mega Mewtwo Unity raid thing.
Yeah. And so for those that didn't see the broadcast, they publicized it essentially of the event happening, and everyone that ended up going and had a ticket to it were able to do 2 like Unity raids, were essentially just like super mega raids that had like no limit to it. It was like I think the lobbies were like over 1,000 people or so.
It was like 2,000 or something.
Yeah, 2,000. Yeah. So one raid gave you a guaranteed 100% Mewtwo with the New York Times background, first ever of its kind, probably the only ever of its kind. But who knows? Maybe in the future they'll do it again. And it could have been shiny, right? Probably not for most, but there were some people that got shiny. Because of that, they got automatic Shundo. Fantastic. Oh, and I think it was already Mega level 4, I think.
No.
It wasn't?
No, it was like, I think like Mega 1 or Mega 2 or something like that.
Oh, okay. Either way.
So that was the second one. The first one was a guaranteed background with just like randomized IVs. And I think it had like maybe Mega
it's the
1.
second one that was a guaranteed 100.
The second one was
okay.
Yeah.
Guaranteed 100%.
Yeah, so the first one was still
Yeah.
the first one was still a guaranteed background with random IVs, so some people might have gotten hundo anyways. And then the second one was the guaranteed hundo.
Yeah. So there's a very select few, I guess, that have 2 hundos at the background. And I guess everyone, buying bottle cap could have probably spent their bottle cap on that Mewtwo if their second one if they want to. Either way, they blotted out the streets, right, for this event. They took control of the LED panels, right, of Times Square and did all the stuff.
Which was actually pretty cool, I have to say.
Absolutely is, right? Super cool.
And like recreating, and like the whole idea was it was recreating like the original Pokemon Go trailer where they showed
like
a
2015, 2016.
they showed a whole bunch of trainers battling a Mewtwo in Times Square. So that's why it was like that.
Yeah, it was 10 years in the like what I said on Twitter was like 10 years in the making of making this happen, right? Recreating the trailer and doing it. Obviously, it's like a mega form of Mewtwo, not the regular Mewtwo, because we've obviously had regular Mewtwo for many years now. But so everyone that watched obviously didn't get anything, right? I mean, there's some Twitch shops you get some 10 rare.
We got a whole 10 rare XLs.
Yeah, I still have to claim that, but I mean, yeah, like I watched it for that and everything like that. It is what it is. And it was weird. I don't. Okay, I'll tell you how I feel about it, and you can share your thoughts too, Tristan, if you like. But when I was watching, I was like, yeah, this seems like a cool time. Everyone that went and was a part of it was like raving about it. One of the most magical, best times of your lives, especially particularly when it comes to Pokemon Go. That like I think like most people that went, maybe everyone that went, will rank it as one of their top experiences of the game or top 3 all time, right? Maybe,
yeah, it looks like a really cool event to be at.
Yes, and let me say this, because it's not cheap to control all the LED panels in Times Square and blot out everything and all this stuff and organize this, right? But I was talking to some people that are familiar with the cost of those things, and they estimate that it costs them at least like 20 million to do this, right? For about 2,000 trainers. Now, if you're spending 20 million on 2,000 trainers, you best hope it's a good time, right? And of course it was. But I'm sitting there like, how does this help everyone else, right? 10 rare XL candies and like some other random stuff and just watching other people have fun is maybe not the most celebratory thing to celebrate 10 years with everyone else in the world, right? And of course, in their socials, they probably like had these social media posts like already crafted and scheduled to be tweeted out. So it's not like they had maybe time to edit or get approval, but they're tweeting out like, oh, thanks for celebrating 10 years with us. But we didn't really celebrate. We just watched people celebrate, right? I kind of made the analogy. Yeah. It's like we're like kids looking in a candy store that we can never enter in, right?
And yeah, it was like the broadcast was definitely like a weird vibe because it was like it looks like a cool event, but like I'm just watching it. Right. Yeah. I'm watching other people have a great time and like I'm happy for the people that got to go. It seemed really cool. Yeah. But it was definitely I think that was one of the biggest complaints I heard from people in general is like they were just like 100%. It was a weird vibe, like total like FOMO stream. Like I'm just sitting here watching other people get cool stuff.
And a lot of people getting hate comments, right, on social media when they post about it. And like I don't think that's right? Because I don't think like anyone should be shamed for it or whatever, right? They like if I had the opportunity to just go, like if I lived in New York, go down the street and be a part of it, sure, like I'd go. I'm sure I would have had a great time, right? But like people were like really salty about it because it feels like it does feel like a slap in the face, right? As someone that's been playing this game every single day, pretty much, I lost one day of not playing this game because I was on a plane to Australia, so I literally lost a day in the calendar. But like in 24, I have not gone through a single 24-hour period where I haven't played this game or opened the app for 10 years, right? Like, so like I am maybe not the most dedicated player in the game, but I am in that top 1 percentile for sure, right? And I don't like this event, obviously I can only speak for myself, right? But a lot of people share the sentiment. Watching that doesn't feel like, oh, thanks for celebrating 10 years with us, right? I got to watch other people celebrate it. And again, I think it's fine that they had a good time, but like it is, in my mind, right? And this is my own personal opinion, right? And don't like send hate to like people organizing it, but I think it was a really poorly thought out planned event. And the thing that I think about is not even just the fact that like, oh, I missed out on this Hondo Mewtwo with the background, whatever, blah, blah, right? Arguably, this is going to be the most rare Pokemon, one of the most rare Pokemon in the entire world, more rare than a shiny, Pikachu, Libre, more rare than all these other things, right? Because it's a once in a lifetime thing, I think, unless they do this every year, which they probably won't. Even every 10 years would be pretty wild, right? But it's a limited time with the background and stuff. And the event itself was just crazy, right, to be a part of. But like everyone watching, like it's not like we all got a Hondo Mewtwo with the background. Honestly, if we just got a Mewtwo with the background, Times Square would be cool too, because then we could just go battle cap if we really want to, right? But some people are upset about the Hondo more than the background. I personally think the background is actually even cooler, right? Because it's such like a, for me, I mean, I guess I'm more sentimental. It's just such like a monumental moment that they've been building up to. Either way, regardless of like what people are upset about, right? People are upset about different things. I want to say I'm like upset. I'm like more so disappointed, right? Yeah. Because the thing I think about, besides the fact that I missed out on this and I had to spend all this money like rating for like a perfect Mewtwo and all this stuff and whatever, and I didn't get to be a part of this. Like, regardless of all that, I sit there and think about how much money this costs, right? Because It costs over $1 million for sure. It probably costs a couple million, probably 20 plus million is easy, right? I don't know what the budget is. I'm not involved in any of this stuff. I don't know any of this going on. And I sit there and think about like how we have been trying to launch an interleague season for almost 9 months now, and there's still a lot of bugs. And again, I'm not even mad at the devs because I know they're working really, really hard. Right? I know a lot of devs personally. I know they're working really hard, but I know they're absolutely overworked too because they don't have enough help. Right? They don't have enough devs on this part of the game. Right? I get it. PvP is not for everyone, so they probably have less resources. Imagine how many devs, not even just for PvP, for the entire game, you could have had full-time payroll for years on end with $20 million, right? But instead, we spend $20 million for 2,000 people. I don't even care if they're content creators, community ambassadors, whoever, right? Like, I'm not even mad about like, oh, it's like certain content creators. I'm not even saying like, oh, I want to be invited to. It's not even about that, right? You could be 2,000 people, random people, right? In like a small middle of nowhere place. And I'd still be like, I don't think that was a good use of resources, right? Because if you could spend all this, why can't you spend this resources to make the game more consistent and better and bug free, right? Obviously, every game's going to have bugs. But obviously, the more help you have, the more resources you pour into it, you're going to likely have less bugs, or you should fire the people that still are causing bugs when you're like have a ton of people working on it, right? Like, I think the problem is right now, like knowing what I know, I feel like there's just not enough people like hired for it. Obviously, onboarding people takes time. All the stuff takes time and everything. Find the right candidates.
And
takes
there's
time.
obviously also a fine line of too many cooks in the kitchen, but
Absolutely.
there's also an issue of like not enough cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah, and I doubt we have not had a fully flushed out new PvP system for almost 9 months because we have too many cooks in the kitchen, right? It's not what I think is going on, right? And obviously, time and money is required for these things, and time is one thing, but the money is clearly available, and they decided to do this on this.
It's available. Or it was available.
It was available, yeah. For like, and honestly, I think like this is like benefit of the doubt. I think whoever came up with this idea, or the multiple people that came up with this idea, thought it'd be 1, a great way to celebrate it, 2, great way to recreate the trailer, and 3, they did this on a Thursday on purpose. Because it's right before Global Go Fest hits anywhere else in the world, right? Like, I don't think it even started in New Zealand yet, right? So that in a way, it was a way to market the Global Go Fest. So maybe people be excited, like, I want to get myself a Mega Mewtwo too. Well, guess what? It kind of backfired, right? And I think a lot of people got really upset with the game. I'm not one of those people, but some people are like, I'm not going to spend a single dime in this game anymore. Who knows if they're telling the truth or not, right? Obviously, like, it might be hard to tell for the Scopely Explore people in general because a lot of people probably spent money on the game anyway, and maybe not everyone even tuned in to the broadcast. So some people might not even know about this thing happening, right? But you probably have a lot of loyal players that tune in broadcast because they actually keep up to date with the game that are really annoyed with it and probably didn't spend as much money as they would have,
I think,
right?
I mean, but there's obviously word of mouth, and I think there's a ton of people that didn't watch the broadcast that heard about it via either social media, Discord, or even talking about it at in-person meetups. Like, I went to, again, I said earlier, I went to Raid Hour for Palkia Dialga Origin on Friday, and I heard someone talking about it there. Like, so, like, it spreads around for sure.
It does.
And, like,
I was talking. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, yeah, I agree with you. I think the event just didn't, and especially the broadcast, just didn't land the way they were hoping it would.
No.
And I think there's I think they had a good vision and good intentions, but they just were a little misguided in how they executed it. Because I think there's ways that they could have run the same event, but it could have been even better for the people in attendance, but also left a better taste in the mouth of everyone not there as well.
It's just like, part of me is just like trying to figure out like what the goal was, right? Because they're yes, creating it is cool, it created a great event for people and stuff like that. But like, unfortunately, a lot of people that you invite to the event are also getting a bunch of hate messages and like, you know, weird, like, hopefully not death threats and stuff, but like weird messages and stuff and aggressive comments. And like, I don't think that's deserved by any means. But like, and I like, I'm not going to blame Scopely Explore for that, right? Because that's not like, it's not their telling people to leave those hate comments. But it's just like, I'm trying to think what the goal of it was, right?
I
Like, I think
will
a lot of
say,
it was like, I think at the end of the day, to justify spending all that money, they had to make a pitch to corporate, is my guess, to say like, look, if we spend all this money on this, we were going to get a lot more revenue in return over the weekend potentially, right? And we get to spend, like, we might not get it all back, but we'll get some of it back, right? And then also because of it, we'll also, be able to recreate some of this iconic thing and be like in the record books for stuff.
right.
But they're in the news not for the cool event they did. I mean, some parts maybe, but a lot of the news right now is covering how, like, the backlash of it, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of news unfortunately try to go as negative as possible because they know it gets more traction and engagement.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so, like, if there's anything negative they can latch onto, they will latch onto this, right?
I will say the one thing I know is, I don't remember who it was, but there was like one of the Pokemon Go news outlets. Maybe it was it Go Hub, or it might have been Go Hub. I don't remember. One of them, like, there was like a thing before that was like, I guess, even more limited in who got to attend, and I guess I think some of the execs, like I think Ed Wu and Michael Sturrock and maybe some others, were up there and talking and sharing stories and whatever else. And so whatever outlet this was, again, they weren't able to like record it or anything, but they were able to like briefly summarize it. And the one thing in terms of like what their goal was that apparently was mentioned is that this event was like supposed to like be creating like a core memory for the people in attendance, like for the next 10 years and beyond, was sort of how they were selling it, which I think is a valid goal, but again, maybe not at that cost point. I don't know. Um, but I think again, the main issue was they failed to sort of make that connection between the in-person event and everyone else globally. Um, and I think really giving away the Hundo Mewtwo, I think, was the main sour point. I know you said you personally think the background is more valuable, which like some people will think that, but I think most people were pissed off about it being a guaranteed Hundo because a lot of people are like, oh, I've been playing this game for 10 years. Like, where's my guaranteed hundo? Or they're like, oh, these people got given a hundo for free, but like, I'm gonna have to do so many raids this weekend to get it.
That's not untrue. I mean, they did raise to like the IV floor by one, but still, like, okay. I think like my main thing is not really even the background. And I didn't get one, stuff like that. I think it's a extremely poorly use of resources, right? Like, I think they're spending, like, they spent all this time to try to get like the best reaction possible, and instead their reactions are purely negative, almost purely negative, right? Not completely, but over 90+% of the reactions are pretty negative.
Right, but again, I think that mostly stems on the hundo. Like, if they didn't give out a hundo, I think most people wouldn't have cared, or like would have been like, oh, that's kind of cool, whatever.
Maybe.
But like the vast majority of the backlash and people being salty was all around the guaranteed hundo. And
Yeah.
I think there's ways they could have managed it where like it would have been cool for the people in attendance, but it wouldn't have been the same level of saltiness. Like, I don't know, just make it like a 13 IV floor in both encounters, and like a lot of people have a chance on a hundo, but it's not guaranteed. Like, I don't know, there's different ways they could have mitigated that and made it like a better like reaction across the board.
I think the thing is also like mine. I'm not even that mad about the background itself. It's the lack of it's the resources spent to do this, right? Which is, again, like, I feel like that money could be spent better. I'm not in charge of the finances of Scopely, so like, look, they could do whatever they want to do. But when there's so many other issues and stuff with the game, I think like you should prioritize fixing. Like, it's like, I mean, I don't have a kid, right? But if I had a kid, right, and they had all this money, right, it's like spending it on like, I don't know, like a fancy car when you already have like a good car, and your kid's like also like skipping meal stuff for the car. Like, what? Like, work on like the foundational stuff to keep yourself alive, right? Like, make sure you're eating your meals and stuff, then spend it on something lavish for no reason. Like, I feel like this was like spending it lavishly for no reason, and then put it back in our faces and it got a really negative reaction. Like it didn't even get the reaction people wanted.
And then
right?
not only that, but back to the foundations. Then you turn around and there were people that had issues rating during Global Go Fest
Yeah.
because of some of those foundational issues, right? Like again, I don't know what caused it, but like some issue with the code, presumably.
Yeah. But yeah. So there's that, and then I like people say it feels like sad face. I feel that too, right? Like every time I see a post about it, they're like, "Thanks for celebrating 10 years with us." I'm like, what did I do? I sat at home watching everyone else have fun, right? Like, how do we celebrate like me playing this 10 years? Like, like it is a very weird feeling. And the thing that confuses me the most, right, is like the disconnect between the people that go. And again, I don't think anyone that goes deserves hate or anything, right? But some people that went are just like, and obviously some people that didn't go also maybe posted this, but some people that went like, I don't get why people are outraged about me getting this thing. I was like, 2 minutes ago, you posted about how this was like the best time you've ever had playing this game. And you don't understand why people are upset that they didn't get a chance, right? Like if they because the thing is, people didn't even have a chance to go, even if they weren't aware or they weren't in the local area. You didn't have a community that invited you, right? Like some people would have spent money to do this, right? And they couldn't because they weren't even told about it. It's different from any in-person Go Fest. I remember reading a post about someone saying like, "Oh, this is like people getting a turn this early at Worlds." I'm like, what? There was no background for the turns at Worlds, and like a few weeks later, you got to do it too. Like what? Like if a few weeks later we all get our own Hundo Mewtwo with the background from New York Times, ain't no one gonna be mad, right? And I think like, I don't know. I don't know. Like I don't think they're gonna do anything to remedy it. And I tried to like post something like a little bit more positive and be like, hopefully like they learn from this, and next time around, maybe for the 20-year anniversary, they'll do better. And people were like, oh, screw this, I'm not playing this game for another 20 years, like, or 10 years. What are you talking about, right? Like they're calling me a sellout. I was like, I didn't do anything. Like I didn't have to post this. I was just trying to do something to like, so that there's no one sending like hate comments to like the creators and stuff. So I think that's unnecessary, right? But I do think the disconnect, like the lack of empathy from some people that went to the event or just like didn't go but don't understand why people are upset, is also a little like peeved me a little bit. I'm like, how do you not recognize, especially for the people that didn't go to the event? Like that's one thing, that's their take, whatever. But for people that went and talked about how great it was, how do you not understand that it was such a cool event that other people want to go? We just watch it happen. Like you're talking about how magical it is. Like it makes like, how do you get from one way to another and not like, realize?
I didn't personally see those comments, but I'm not surprised they exist. Of people just like not understanding like what it feels like for the people that didn't get to go. I will say like I get why it had to be so limited, because like just like from a logistical standpoint, like there's only so much like space in Times Square, and like they had to probably organize, crowd control and whatever else. So like I get like logistically why they couldn't just let everyone show up to Times Square, because that just doesn't actually work. So I understand why it's a limited thing, but again, I also get that it sucks because again, if you weren't, again, and I don't know how exactly they picked who got invited, like how do they decide which content creators did or didn't get invited, which community ambassadors did or didn't get invited, which local players did or didn't get invited. Like I don't know the specifics of that, but either way, there's definitely other people in the local area and around the world that would have gone if they had the opportunity and they didn't. But again, I don't know on that particular sticking point. I don't know what the right answer is, because again, there is only a limited capacity, and you're not going to be able to let everybody that wants to attend, and that's just like an unfortunate like situation given the circumstances, but there's not really a solution around that. But again, I do understand more like a lot of the other complaints for sure with giving away the Hundo Mewtwo. Like again, like you said, is it the best use of resources? Maybe not. And just some of the other sentiment for sure I can totally relate to, and even feel a lot of that myself.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I think the biggest miss in my mind is it's a lot of money spent to not only anger a good chunk of the viewers, but create I don't know. I just think like if you told me, like if I was I mean, like if I was in charge of this event, right, and someone told me like, "Hey, boss, we're going to spend about $20+ million for 2,000 people for this, and only give them something, and then tell everyone in the world that they got it, but they don't get anything out of it." You think it's a good idea? I'd be like, "What? Like, why are we spending $20 million on 2,000 people? That's insane. That's like a proportion for amount of money spent on these players. For like, it just makes no sense. Like a lot of people in the world that play this game for every single day cannot even travel to the U.S. for visa reasons and stuff, right? They don't have a chance to be a part of it, right? Like, I don't know. I think it's like, I won't name names, but there's a very big League of Legends creator that got back into Pokemon Go in the past year. And he was even telling me about this. He's like, dude, this makes no sense. And he's been part of the gaming industry for over 15+ years, right? Mostly with League of Legends, but he's done other gaming things as well. And he's like, yeah, like if this was Riot, like they would definitely like respond to Backlash and reimburse people or give them something. I was like, yeah, it's not how Scopely works. It's not how Niantic works, you know? I was like, that would be like a good show. Like, because that just shows that you're listening, right? Like a simple acknowledgement goes a long way. Right? Like no acknowledgement, no nothing. They're just like, hey, carry on, spend your money, spend your extra money on the link charges as well if you want to do remote raids, and we'll cash in it. And it's just like, it doesn't feel good, you know, as someone that's been playing this game every single day for 10 years, right? Like it's like, I don't know. I like, obviously, like, again, I just like, if I don't get the background Mewtwo, it is what it is. Like, I've actually, like, no lie, some of the people that gone have offered to trade me their background Mewtwo, right? So it's not even like, oh, I can't get one, right? Like, I know people that can, but is it fair for me to get one and other people not to because they don't have those connections? Like, I don't think so. I didn't go and ask, right, for what it's worth. There's people just came up and offered to me because I know some people that went, and they're like, hey, like, I think, like, I would happily trade this to you if you like. And I think it's like really nice for them to do and offer. And like, I don't know, I might take them on the offer, but like, just because I get one doesn't mean like, if I went to this event, I still wouldn't feel great about it, right? I wouldn't even know what I'm going for, to be fair, right? But I think after a fact, like, I'd be like, yeah, this is, I don't know. That was kind of weird that I got to experience that, right? I feel like that's still quite a big of a difference than me getting an early return is still, right? And I say this, like, people could be like, oh, I think you're just saying that because you didn't go. No, I mean it, right? When I say this. Why would I say all this stuff I don't mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm a man of my word, right? Like, I don't just say stuff just to say stuff. Like, but
well, and it sucks too because it's like, again, like you said, a lot of people that went are getting all this hate and backlash, and it's like it's not their fault the event was run like this, like,
yeah.
And so it's awkward because
They didn't
had
know what they're going for, right?
right,
Yeah.
and it's awkward because they had such a great time, but also their experience is now marred because other people are sort of making them feel potentially bad or guilty for going, and it's like it's just a sucky situation all around.
Yeah.
Because I think most of the people that did go, like, again, there are some comments of people that didn't understand it, but I think a lot of people do have that empathy and do understand why people are upset and, you know, jealous and have FOMO and are salty and all these negative emotions. Like, a lot of people that went do get that. And so they have that empathy, and so I think it taints their experience to an extent, which is also not great. So, like, it's just sort of not an ideal situation across the board. And like I've said before, I wish that Niantic slash Scopely Explorer had, I mean, I think like giving out the hundo was, again, I think the stupidest part of it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think that was the part that made people the most upset. But I also wish they had thought a little bit more about how to bridge that gap between people that didn't go and give some sort of a lesser but like connecting experience to people that weren't there. Like I don't know, like maybe some sort of like little comparable event with like the years and the spawns. Like even if they had made like that, I think like the years thing was actually kind of cool, and part of me wishes they had done that maybe for like Go Fest spawns and raids or something rather than the way they broke it up. But also like maybe make the Twitch drops better than like look, the 10 rare XL candy was cool, but like I don't know, at least give out a Mewtwo, like not a hundo Mewtwo by any means, but like
give us 7,500 energy for both Mewtwo. How about that? Or Mewtwo Y, right? Because that is like such a limiting factor as well as someone that did what did I say, 87 raids?
Yeah.
Right? Like, and I still can't even make a second one is crazy, right? Like, give us that. Like, I'm not asking for a hundo in my inventory, right? Like, give something of use because 10 rare XL candies is absolutely nothing. That's like 2 Mewtwo rates right there for the XL candies, right? That's not
Yeah.
the limiting factor anymore, right? Like you all know the limiting factor because you created the system that have 7,500 energy, right? Like you all should know better for this. Like like you're monetizing this and making it inaccessible. Not everyone's tuning into broadcasts, right? There was a
Right.
peak 20,000 viewership. That's all. How many people even tune in? Maybe 1 million unique viewers at most. You got 80 plus active million player base a month, right? So like you're not giving out like everything for free, and like maybe people that didn't tune in, like they just missed out and they'll tune in the next broadcast. I don't know. I mean, they don't have broadcasts that often, but like
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, or
It's just-
something like maybe like a Mewtwo encounter and like 7,500 energy might be more than they're willing to give, but like I don't know, give out like 1,000 energy, 500 energy, maybe give out some link charges, like I don't know, at least like make it a little more to like bridge the gap and make it a little more exciting and worthwhile for the people that were watching at home so that they can sort of feel a little more connected and make it feel worthwhile and make them excited.
yeah, it's I don't know. It's a little it's frustrating for sure. I mean, it is what it is, like I even said it like what's done is done. So we were like, what do you mean what's done is done? I was like, I'm here just tweeting. I was like, dude, I'm not like what are y'all on about? Like I didn't even go. No one told me to tweet this out, right? I just tweeted out my perspective, but people were just like freaking out and stuff. And like I think it feels bad. I can only speak for myself, but it feels bad if someone's played this game every single day and for this to be the pinnacle celebration and then me dropping a bunch of money over the weekend to just raid a bunch. Okay, it is Global Go Fest, so like it is what it is, right? It's not their fault that they planned a wedding for this, but like I had to go raid a bunch because I need the energy to be able to do it, right? I mean I didn't show up late to a wedding, but I had a bunch of time out my weekend during a busy weekend to do this because it's so because you made the system so inaccessible, right? Like it's not like I could just raid a bunch of Mewtwo, spend a golden bottle cap, or trade it for a hundo later, and then just made my mega. Like, no, I needed all this energy, or had to get lucky enough to get a hundo, right?
Right? Yeah, they made like it's. I couldn't respect it because it's almost genius from a money making standpoint, but it's so awful from a player perspective.
Yes.
I think that Mega Mewtwo is it's not quite at a Eternatus level, but it's pretty close. Because they designed
for like the amount you need to raid, yeah.
Well, just in terms of like, well, the amount you need to raid and just like the pure money grab aspect, because it's like because they made it so that if you have an existing hundo or existing Mewtwo you want to Mega, you have to raid so much that you get the 7,500 energy just to get to Mega 1. And then obviously any additional energy you want to get it up to Mega 4, whatever. Or, sure, it was good that they were letting you catch Mewtwo's that had Mega 1, Mega 2, or Mega 3 unlocked. But then you have to raid enough to get the hundo or the 98 or whatever IVs you're happy with if you don't want to spend that energy. So you're raiding a ton anyways. And then you have the whole like link charges thing we talked about before in terms of remote raids, so they make it even more expensive to remote raid. So like the whole way they set up the Mega Mewtwo system is just like so money grabby in general. Like again, I can respect it from like a smart business standpoint because they know it's going to work, but it's just so blatantly a money grab and like so obviously like against what's friendly to the players, but I guess they do it because they realize they can get away with it, because I know people are still going to spend money, because let's be real, all of us did still spend money raiding Mewtwo.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's just like I'm not of the strong firm belief that like any publicity is good publicity. Like I think this was actually really bad publicity for them.
Yeah.
And I think just as a whole, I'm just very disappointed in their decision making here and their use of resources, and like it just like this was like probably the amount of anger I've seen since like remote raid passes were like taken away, right? Like
Yeah.
like I don't think anything's been that big of an outrage. And for your 10th anniversary, that's the legacy you want to leave. Sure, you did all this Times Square stuff, but like anyone that experienced it or remembers this event is not going to be talking about that, right? Except for the people that went. You know, maybe some people like there's a few that are like, oh, who cares? I'm happy for the people that went. And again, I'm happy for the people that went. Right, I have a lot of friends that went, and I asked them how it was. They say it was a great time, right? And I'm happy for them. I don't want to take that experience away from them, right? But there was nothing given to everyone else. How do you give some crazy experience worth $20+ million, maybe more, for just less than 0.0001% of your player base? It's insane, right? And it's a huge accessibility point because the majority of people that went. Wait, are you okay? I can hear like crazy like sounds from your end. Tristan? Hello? Okay, I'm going to mute you real quick. I'm not sure what's going on, Tristan. I'm just going to let him know I hear feedback, and he could just message me when he wants to unmute it. Anyway, all I was going to say is, while Tristan's getting his audio fixed, what do you call it? Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, it just makes no sense, right? To spend all that resources just for a very, very small percentage of player base, and for your 10th year anniversary, and literally for that celebration, give nothing back to the rest of the community of notes besides like some rare candy XLs, which again is not even the prohibiting factor of Mega Mewtwo. Obviously, like people can use that for things besides just Mega Mewtwo, but I'm not saying like we should be awarded like $1 million or something for watching a Twitch stream, right? But I think something useful, again, like the 7,500 to make like energy to make a Mewtwo, or to get like everyone get a Hundo one or a New York Times Square one, probably not both, right? Is something, right? To show a little bit of faith. Even like a random Mewtwo encounter, like just random like encounter research to have a chance at something is better than nothing, right? They didn't even give us a free Mewtwo at that. Obviously, there's a lot of chance to get free Mewtwo from the research, from Global Go Fest, from using daily raid passes, right? But like for people that are tuned in, like you really didn't get anything besides just like maybe people being upset about it, right? Anyway, we talked about this for a solid 30+ minutes. I mean, that's my general thoughts and Tristan's thoughts. I'm sure Steve and Kaz may have their own opinions. Everyone down below, feel free, everyone in listening to this, but feel free to leave any comments on Podbean or YouTube. Again, I'm not like hating on like anyone in particular, and because like I think like a lot of this was like planned probably in good faith, or probably planned as like a marketing tool for Global Go Fest, thinking they can make money off of it. And like, I mean, that's like a for-profit company's like job, right? So like there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I think that is a big factor here. I don't know if Tristan's gone or not. Let me shoot him a message. Oh, wait, you good?
Here. I'm
okay.
here.
Yeah.
I've been here.
I had to mute you because
because
there's like crazy static on your end or something. I'm not
yeah,
sure.
no worries.
Yeah,
I didn't have much to say, and you were talking, so I just stayed muted while I let you go.
Yeah, no, you're good. I think I just beat this topic to a dead horse at this point. But
Pretty much. I think the last thing I want to say is like, again, I understand all the frustration and outrage and FOMO from everyone that didn't go, because I feel a lot of it too. But like, again, like there's no reason to be directing your hate or anger towards the people that went. And also, like, at the end of the day, like, yeah, it sucks, and yeah, I don't love it, but like at some point you just need to move on too, because it's like whatever Pokemon are in someone else's account doesn't affect you at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we can definitely be, frustrated and disappointed that we don't have the same thing, but like it doesn't actually affect you at the end of the day. So like, again, it's totally valid to have these negative emotions, but like it's also not reasonable, in my opinion, to stew on those and hold on to those for too long. And like, again, like try to try to be happy to an extent for the people that went, because like I'm still glad that they got to have a cool experience, even if I wasn't able to go. And even if, like Caleb has pointed out, maybe it wasn't the best use of resources, like it did happen. And I am still glad that people that were there did have a good time. But I think that's basically it on this topic.
Yeah. Yeah. Um. Anyway, that's that's pretty much that. It is what it is, And again, happy for the people that end up going. But I hope, and they don't have to, but I hope that they at least can have the empathy to understand why people are frustrated with it, right? And
Yeah.
understand, I'm not saying they should sympathize with people sending them hate comments, right? But maybe understand, because I've seen some people like, okay, so the guy that made Cerebi, right, Joe Merrick went, right, and I think his wife was there in attendance. Oh, her take on it was a little harsh, not gonna lie. So I was reading some of this because I was like stuck in like the mountains with like very little stuff to do. So, but okay, so there was a whole bunch of things that um he tweeted out, and he was like still trying to reflect on it. I know there was like a YouTube video that he made on it, and hopefully she's still, yeah, she wrote, okay, this is what her take, right? I'm curious, right? And again, this is Sarah B's creator's like wife, right? Her name's Marty. She says, virtually Marty is her Twitter handle, X handle. Says, I'm getting seriously fed up with all this complaining. I was going to keep quiet, but I've had enough. Been playing for 10 years, then you likely have a Mewtwo already. 99.9% of people wouldn't have gone to New York anyway. It wasn't just creators. Community leaders were invited. It was recreating something that happened in the original trailer. GoFest Gold was literally free this weekend instead of charged. That's your thank you for playing. For everyone, for people everywhere. In which I got 3 shiny Mewtwo and a hundo with my free raid passes. That's crazy shiny luck, by the way. I don't call it 2 shiny and out of 87 Mewtwo, or 89 actually, even include my 2 free ones, or 90 actually. And then she also says, I don't see people moaning about region exclusive event costumes. I've been putting money into the game for 10 years. That's not fair on me. It's a game. It's not that deep. Please put your anger into things that actually matter in life. How do you take that as someone that just maybe heard that for the first time?
Yeah, that's definitely a bit tone deaf in my opinion. Um,
Yeah.
I will
It's a
say,
nice way
like,
of
again,
putting it.
I definitely don't like agree with that, but like, I will say, in her defense, I feel like she and Joe Merrick in general, especially Joe, just get a lot of hate online in general, and so I think that, and a lot of just backlash just on everything. And so I think that's probably jaded them a little bit, which like I
Sure.
can understand, even though I still don't agree with how she's looking at it, but like it's definitely an awkward spot to be in, that sort of a situation where people are just like constantly shitting on you for like everything. So
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. But that's certainly one way to look at it, I guess.
It is, yeah. Um anyway, I don't know. I think those kind of takes are a little bit again, I think empathy could go a long way on all fronts. And I'm not here to defend creators. I'm not here to defend people sending them hate by any
Yeah.
means. I just think that there's really enough hate
But
in the
yeah,
world going around.
yeah.
And
And I think the thing that I sort of was mentioning at the very beginning of this too is like the one thing that, again, the reason I wanted to point out that it was a lot of local people is because like part of the vibe too that a lot of people were salty about is they're like, oh, this was just like a big party for the creators and they just like gave the creators these free hundos. And it's like, yes, they did invite creators and they got hundos, but there was a lot of just like regular players from the local area too.
yeah.
That um I feel like Niantic, Scopely, whatever you want to call them, um didn't do a good job of highlighting, like in general, on social media, on the broadcast itself, And I think that was also a sort of missed opportunity. That I think, again, there still would have been a lot of frustration with the hundos being given out to everyone, but I think it would have made the optics a little bit better because a lot of people felt like it was just a big exclusive celebration that only content creators were invited to, when it when they just didn't do a good job of highlighting that they actually brought in a lot of sort of regular local players. And also I would have liked to see them sort of highlight the fact that, like, again, I think people know that some community ambassadors were there, but also highlight that, because the community ambassadors do a lot of work. And so I think, like, I'm glad that the community ambassadors, a lot of them were given the opportunity to go to this because they put in a lot of time and effort and their own money and stuff to run events, and it's
I think
sometimes a
I think that's
thankless
a
job.
really slippery slope too, because I don't think they don't like I do agree with you. I think the people that like a lot of the people that were creators or community ambassadors like deserve to go, I guess, right? I mean, again, this is 20 million for 2,000 people. Like you doing a lot of work for that kind of payday, right? Obviously, they're not getting that money in their pocket or anything, but
Yeah.
for that experience. But the problem is a lot of those community ambassadors were community ambassadors in the Northeast area, particularly like New York or New Jersey or whatever, right? What about all the community ambassadors that do stuff all around the world, right? Don't they deserve to go too, right? Like I think
Oh,
like
for sure. I mean, I
I think
think
it's
some of
a
them were able. I think some of them from elsewhere were able to go, but yeah, obviously a much
yeah.
smaller proportion for
Yeah,
sure.
like I don't love the conversation of people that deserve to go in general, which is why I say like I don't think this matters if it's like 2,000 creators or 2,000 random people that never made a piece of content in their life. Like it's more so to provide that much resources and expenditure for a select group of people from a game. Like it's just doesn't make sense to me. I don't care who it is, right? I don't care if they give us they hand us a silver platter to all the Go commentators and that's it. Like I still don't want that because it's just like it's elitism. It really is, right? Like obviously not everyone invited is like some elite, but there's some type of very select few people based on like how lucky you are. Either you make content, you're a community ambassador, or you're lucky enough to be invited by a community ambassador. There's some aspect of luck or special privilege that went into being selected out to be one of those 2,000 people. And
Right, for
this is the
sure.
last thing I will say on this too, right? Because I know we've been talking for a while, dude. People are selling this Mewtwo for 10 grand on eBay. It's insane. And I hope they all get banned for it because you can literally see like how many candies and XLs and Stardust they have. Like, I don't think it'll be that hard for it. This is the good part about only having 2,000 people. It shouldn't be that hard for Scopely to figure out who is trying to sell some of these, right? But
Yeah.
like, you can't tell me this is just like any other exclusive regional whatever when nothing else, to my knowledge, on eBay is being sold for 10 grand for Pokemon Go. There's Pokemon Go accounts that probably aren't being sold for that much, right? But 10 grand is insane. And then what? The people that are selling it are gonna spoof to them, or they're gonna force someone to spoof to them. I don't know how that's going to go, right? And like for me personally, I don't even care. But like that already shows like how exclusive this thing is.
Yeah,
To do this
for
for
sure.
free for a bunch of people, right? Obviously, it's not free to travel there, but I assume most people that travel there were like either had means to travel there, had their expenses paid. Because I saw some content creators post about how their expenses were paid by probably Niantic or Scopely, whatever, or they just were close enough to travel there, right? Like to my knowledge, I think out of the only Go creators or content creators I went, or sorry, commentators I went was Gabby and Phoebe, but because like they're like in like Massachusetts,
Right,
so it's
Boston,
close.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
so
Boston
it's like
area to
yeah,
New York City
like
is like
yeah,
not
like
too
it
hard of
wasn't
a
free
trip.
for them, but they had to pay a train ticket, which is not too bad, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
but like so not entirely free, but mostly free, right, for them, for most people to host this for them. But like you can't tell me this is like a turn disc, right? Like obviously you can't trade a turn disc, but like ain't no way even if you could trade a turn disc, it's going to be cost you 10 grand, right?
Right,
Even
for
fully
sure.
powered up, I don't think you could sell for 10 grand, right? But
Yep.
like this is just like a regular Mewtwo, not powered up, nothing, just trading it with the background. It's not even a shiny one, right? At that.
Well, and I think, yeah, on that point too,
Like some
last
people are like,
thing.
what did they get banned? Well, so what? They already made their money. Like they don't like they might be
Yeah,
like, screw it. I don't want to play this game. Or I made 10 grand off of it. Like
right. Well, yeah, and I think one thing that could have helped with the background is like there was like additional Mega Mewtwo raids that happened there after the Unity raids were over. And like if those had the chance to be background for like maybe people that were there and people that remoted in, like that could have at least
Could have
helped
been something. Yeah, that
a
could have been
little
something
bit
too.
with like the scarcity of it and
Yeah.
like get that, give more people the opportunity to get that background.
Because if you were there and you didn't have a ticket, you're just sitting there watching your friends doing this super, super mega raid. Like you're not like nothing else happens. Like you can't, like nothing. There's nothing else to it.
Right, but like that would have been cool, like if the raids after had a background chance, like for remote raiders too, even
Yeah.
because then like people at home at least have a chance to feel more included in the event. It's like, yeah, sure, remote raids are a little pricey, but it's like, oh, if I can remote raid in for the Times Square background, like that would actually be like cool and would have been a fun thing that people could have done. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, should we do some YouTube comments and wrap it
Yeah,
up?
yeah, I think so. Yeah. One other thing I will say that a lot of people are saying is also like, oh, well, at least they gave everyone a second one, so like other people can get it. I'm like, okay, so you doubled the total population of people that have this background New York Times Mewtwo from 2,000 to 4,000. Like that's not really increasing by much. And again, I think like the issue there is if you have the social capital, or you have connections or people, then you might be able to get that. Like for me, example, right? Someone offered that to me, but like not everyone is going to have that, and that doesn't make it fair either, right? And also because
Yeah.
you have double, you got people selling their spare for 10 grand. Like if I I'm just saying not as a creator, right? But if I was just some random player that doesn't care about potentially getting banned or whatever, right? And I really want to make a buck off of this, I'm like, and I knew this was going to happen. Sure, I'll pay like a $2,000 like round trip flight and hotel to New York to sell it later for 10 grand to get 8,000 out of it. Like that's a pretty good deal.
Well, the thing too is if you know your account's getting banned, you can just sell the hundo as well.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. I actually don't think these people think they're going to get banned, but it's really stupid to do this. Like, I don't recommend like trying that at all if you're one of the people going, but hey, do whatever you want to do, do whatever you want to do. But like, that's the real kicker. Imagine if you do this and you get banned and the person that paid all this money also like gets their account, like their Mewtwo taken away. That's
Well, yeah, because I think both buying and selling are against TOS. The person who buys the Mewtwo
Yeah.
could also get banned too.
Absolutely.
Imagine paying 10 grand and then getting banned.
Yeah, it honestly cannot be that. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, all this to say is, hey, look, if you're working at Scopely, man, and you're in charge of bands, you got a project for you on eBay. That's for sure.
Yeah,
anyway.
I know they're already aware of it, is what I've heard. So
yeah, and I'm sure they will handle it. Okay, so talk about some YouTube comments from last week, and then we'll wrap it up here because we've been going on for a while. Okay. So who is Josh says, listen to this conversation about the half level each shots makes me decide in life that I want to become a Leonardo da Vinci tribute. I want to cut my ear off and throw it in the river. TBH is a half level that important? Is there a bulk point? Ask the clown Anacore if it's really a thing. It won't be Medi Slayer comparison Go. It's such a technical Pokemon. I don't think you see many mirrors, but I do understand you want to throw first, build up your attack form before dipping, even if you shield, because entry is key and attack form is quicker. Okay, yeah, I was actually thinking about this. I'm glad that Josh brought this up. I was actually thinking about our conversation because I think you know what I was? When I was driving back from San Diego, so like a 2-hour plus drive. I was listening to the podcast and hey, like quality assurance purposes, but also it got me through the drive without like falling asleep, which was nice. But okay, there was something about that conversation, Tristan, that like you got me like listening back to it, got me thinking about something that we did not actually cover specifically. And I'm trying to remember what it is, but I'm honestly blanking.
I guess you'll just have to listen back to it again and leave a YouTube comment for the next episode.
I don't. Yeah, I wish I knew. It was man, I should have wrote it down because I just remember hearing it and I was like, I'm going to mention this. But there was actually something pretty important about it that I unfortunately do not remember anymore. So maybe I'll get back to that later, Josh. I'm gonna do my best to think of it as we go through the rest of these comments. But there was actually a really important thing that I think the two of us neglected to talk about last week. during
I
our
will
whole
say,
level
I
three.
will say, not Eggy slash related, but the one thing we did neglect to talk about real briefly is this Pikachu event right now. The transfer bonuses are great on the Go
Yeah,
Pass,
they are. They
especially
are.
if you get the premium. I know you've been talking. You're like, oh, I'm saving up for October. Well, it's
We're
here right
almost
now.
at October. We're like 3 months away. I think I could tough it out, right? Because I feel like October is like
But
already
this is
getting.
the same. This is the same bonuses as the October one was, and we don't know
I
if we're
know,
getting it
but I
in
don't want to. I don't
October.
want to pay for like. I mean, that's just me. It's not a lot of money, but I don't want to pay for a premium pass to get the triple transfer and then just pay for it again in October, right?
But you
If I
don't know if
could,
you're getting it in October. Like you're gonna feel real
yeah.
silly.
But what if it's quadruple in October? You know, you never know. You
But what
never
if there's
know.
none in October
Then
and then
then I'll keep toughing it out. I guess. I mean, my storage
until
is.
what? Next October you're gonna skip the one right after Go Fest
Hey
next
man,
year?
I'm a man of patience. I can wait all day. I will wait for the 20th anniversary for my chance at my own New York Times Mewtwo. I will be sure whatever I'm doing, I'll book a flight ahead of time and just be in that general area. um, but yeah. Anyway, well, I'll do my best to think of it, Josh, or anyone else listening that's trying to figure out the IV thing. But I, yeah, genuinely do not remember exactly. It was something related to the timing of each slash, right? So you're saying how you want to throw second.
Yeah.
Um,
Like if you don't remember, let's not make people go down this hole again.
yeah.
Because Josh might be cutting off his other ear then.
The funny part, Josh, is you might cut off the ear, but you can still hear clearly. Because it's not the ear lobe and the ear whatever that's helping you hear. It's the ear canal and everything. Anyway, speaking of Josh, PP Steve, the other Josh, says, had a great time in New York. And so who is Josh response? So glad you had a good time. You converted all your travel expenses into a World Cup match. Sorry, the Socceroos got dumped out.
Socceroos.
Socceroos got dumped out. They had a good run ish. Debbie said facts. Wait, what is Socceroos?
It's the Australian soccer team name.
Oh, I didn't know that. Sorry. For those that every time I stream, people are like, "Who are you rooting for a World Cup? Who are you rooting for this week?" I'm like, I'm so sorry. I just don't really watch soccer / football. But, yeah, no hate on people that do. Sorry about the Socceroos, Steve and Debbie.
Steve cares so much.
Yeah, I know Debbie was there, and I think she's celebrating her birthday too. So happy belated, Debbie! I hope you had a great birthday.
Happy birthday, Debbie. Yeah, it looks like she had a good time because it looks like she stayed for a global Go Fest in New York after.
Which is good because if she didn't, by the time she got back from her flight, global Go Fest is probably over in Australia.
Yeah.
So, but no, I'm glad that she made the most of it, and I think she even saw like the Harry Potter play or something on Broadway.
Yeah, that looks fun.
She seems to make most of it. So very happy for her, and it seemed like it was good birthday weekends well spent. Will Hudd says, love
no Steve for her birthday though.
Yeah, no Steve. Well, that we know of. Will Hudd says, love the back and forth discussion about each slash. I think Tristan makes a good point. Losing CMP or throwing second will put you in short form second, so you can either outpace or force a swap. Also, each slash fun fact, before I had all the XL candies to finish mine, I would equip it as best buddy to cover the missing levels. Check my IVs and should have been at 1500 in both forms. The buddy boost only applied in shield form and sword form CP was 1430. What? Not sure if this has been fixed yet since I got the XLs to finish it, but something to keep a lookout for. Great episode per usual. Wait, that's crazy. That's a crazy issue. If that's
it like wasn't applying.
1430 is a huge difference.
Yeah, like that's definitely a significant because that's not even, I think that's a whole level, not even a half level. Not even more than a whole level.
That's pretty.
But yeah, it wasn't applying the best buddy boost to the sword form somehow. Or blade form, I guess it's technically called, but
yeah, that's less than ideal. But
also, I'd be curious if that was an issue only on the legacy system or if that is an issue on the new system too. I'd be curious about that as well.
Yeah.
But obviously, he doesn't have a way to check it anymore, so it'd be up to someone else. But I don't think anyone wants to be best buddying it just to lose a whole 70 CP. That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I think here's the thing, right? Even if you have so the charger, oh, you know what it is? Okay, I think this is what I'm not even sure if this is exactly what it is, but this is something that I thought about. the charge attack priority for Aegis Slash is not even based on the blade form in the mirror in the lead, right? Because based on your example, right, you want to throw like second stuff like that. It's based on the shield form. Because if I'm shield form throwing it into like a Annihilate on charge attack priority, the Annihilate goes first. Because I'm in shield form first, right? If I throw another Shadow Ball on the blade form, that's when charge attack priority takes place on the blade form, and I'll win that over the Annihilate every time, right? But your whole thing, and again, I'm not like, it's not like I'm not like upset with you or roasting or anything like that. But your whole thing with like, oh, well, it's good to have a better rank shield form because you're in that state longer, and it's okay if you lose that charge attack priority, because the whole half level thing is not as relevant in blade form. The thing is, you could run like about the same rank or slightly better rank shield form and still also get the half level on the blade form, right? Like, that's the thing, because it's not like it's not like, I think I mentioned this last time, it's not like every blade form is only like at the regular full level, like not missing a half level for like everything below a top 100, right? There's things in the top 10 rank that probably hit that, perfect like level thing, and they will still have a higher rank too, right? So like I can have my cake and eat it too, in this sense, right? I can have a really high rank shield form and a blade form that hits that full level and doesn't miss a
but
power up.
do you?
I do. I actually do. Mine is like a rank 59 or something, and it hits the whole number. So like I actually have a really decent Aegis Slash in my mind. So I have a good rank 1 in shield form, but I'm also not missing a half level on the blade form, right? And so I think that's why I forgot who asked this. I think it was Artemis Dragon that asked this question last week. But I think that's the thing, right? Like, you can keep rolling for it unless you really want to use Aegis Slash now, and it's not that good in the meta right now because of how prominent Ninetales is. It's still a really good Pokemon, but like it's just annoying because there's a Ninetales on like every other team, right? But I think like if you don't need to use it right now, just keep re-rolling for it, because you might get a really good rank 1, like Tristan says, that loses charge attack priority, and it could still get the whole level on Blade. So I think that was kind of the thought I had when we're talking about it, right? Because I think we talked about it as almost like, and this is not just on you, but me too, like mutually exclusive. Like, you either win charge attack priority and you get the whole level and you're not missing half a level, or you're missing half a level and you lose charge attack priority. And like in the mirror, that's like not too bad, right? Again, in my mind, in the mirror, even if you win charge attack priority, you just don't throw right away, and then you could also just throw a second, right? Unless you get the back-to-back. But another thing is also if you, I don't know. Anyway, that's kind of the general gist that I was thinking about here. So, but
let's not go down the Aegis Slash rabbit hole again.
Dropping
There'll be a few less ears listening.
Holy, this has been a podcast. That's for sure. Anyway, I got some editing to do after this, but appreciate you all listening in. Let us know down below in the comments about how you feel about 3v3, how you feel about New York Times, Mewtwo, the 10th anniversary, about your Global Go Fest, more Aegis Slash questions, or anything else you would like to ask. Drop it down below. But that's going to do it for us. We've been on.
Don't forget that support tickets do exist. So if you have your complaints about 3v3, there's always that as an avenue.
That's right. And I didn't show this off, but hey, Ace Trainer card was received. I tweeted about this. I don't know if I talked about this in last week's episode or not, but I finally got the Ace Trainer card. Dude, this looks super dope, actually. Like,
it does.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know why people. I mean, I know you can sell this for like $500+ or something, but I'm definitely keeping mine. It's really cool. Anyway, I finally got it. You just remind me because it says support ticket. I actually didn't submit one. I did fill out this form though that someone posted on Twitter about people missing it, so that might have been good enough. Or maybe it just finally came in the mail. I don't know. Or someone at TPCI listens to this podcast, and if that is true and they help expedite it, I really appreciate you, right? I really do. I don't know who you are, right? Feel free to shoot me a wink at some point and I might figure it out. But If that's the case, I appreciate it too. But they probably just like, dude, this podcast too long already. We don't need another segment about Caleb complaining about Ace Trainer card missing every single week. But it was a short-lived segment idea that got resolved quickly. So it is what it is. Anyway, that's going to do it for us. As always, feel free to support the podcast if you'd like to buy some of our merchandise. But to support it for free, feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are closing in-ish on that 1,000 subscriber mark. Look, we'd be talking about 3 hours plus a week for the love of the game. It's not really for any monetary reasons, but hopefully it helps you pass the time, and hopefully it's a good listen. Anyway, that's going to do it for us, and we will catch you all next week. Until then, have a good one, y'all. Peace.
See ya.